Yes, sir.
Ancestors in control. Ancestors in control. Every time you think, because sometimes we become masters of articulating what essentially the white boys are doing to us. And then it's become a whole separate genre of what we attempt to do, is to always constantly talk about what the crackers doing, what the crackers doing.
Stop that.
Now, right, now, because I'm no longer interested in white folks on that level. But I inherently know they're more interested in me than I am in them. Now, I'm saying, if ancestors in control, then ancestors is the ones that have been doing everything. The only thing flawed in this reality is our perception of what's going down. And once you upgrade your perception, a dead body starts looking like an opportunity. You understand? Who's seen Hotel Rwanda? You remember they was rolling over all them dead bodies? Now what if your ass was getting chased and you had to think about that? Would you be thinking about the moral inclinations? You gotta get to where you gotta go, right? Well, we are reaching that time period. The only thing that's gonna save you is your base side that you've been putting away as a closet Christian. As a closet Christian, a Muslim, whatever, all these moral conceptualizations, all of this stuff about the can't nobody have sex if you're conscious, that's some bullshit. Ain't no such thing as no sacred pussy. You gotta give it up. All that playing games because you read a few books and you see some DVDs, that's now cipher. The enemy don't want us to be fucking. Because obviously every time we come together we creating things, right? He wants to be the middleman. So he be confusing us with morals. You understand? Alright? So with that, I can only say this when the Dark Father's here. Bobby the Master. So give it up for Bobby.
There's a movie that the brother Maurice put me down with. The movie Revolver. Anybody saw the movie Revolver? The Guy Ritchie, you know, which is Madonna's soon-to-be ex-husband, produced it. And in that movie, the guy with Jason Statham was going through all his demons, all his troubles, and he realized that the only enemy there was his own ego. You see what I'm saying? And then at the end of the movie, they had several people like Deepak Chopra and all them come on and say in so many words that the enemy that you think you've been having is only been produced by your ego. And what it means is this here. You might have on this physical earth, there might be several obstacles that you got to get through. But based on the concept of where your mind is, it can either be an obstacle or it can actually be a stepping stone. You see what I'm saying? So that's what the whole concept, when C3 Manel said one time that a brother came up there and said, I went to jail for 10 years for something I didn't do. And he said, no, you went to jail for 10 years for something you didn't do. You were supposed to do something, you negated it, and as a result, the karmic pattern was, you see, you went to 10 years, you had to be put on lockdown so that you can reflect. So the next time you come out, you would learn what to do, and if you don't, you just keep doing it over and over and over again. Well, it's the same concept. It's the same concept. So we're going to get into a few things on the visual portion of the show. Unfortunately, this doesn't do too well it doesn't do too well with the lights being on. So when I get ready, we're just going to cut them off and we're going to roll with that. But a few things I want to deal with. Let me see if I got this. Was Panic here? Oh, is he here? He went out. But he went out. Okay, yeah. Well, I'll go into his stash. I had brought him up something. I brought him up from Atlanta. You know, get some goods for somebody else, and when they ain't around, you just go in there. Use their shit. He won't mind. But I want to introduce this. And there's a website, and it's some oddity. I sent this to him I sent this to him back in August. And it came back to us the other day, because obviously y'all got a messed up mail system up here. The mailman decide he don't want to knock on your door. You take that card and go back, it might get lost in the post office up here.
That's right.
But this is one I wanted to show. This is some stuff called Voodoo Bayou. Voodoo Bayou Backwoods Magic. Made in Louisiana. Voodoo Bayou. Put this on the camera. You got it? Put some Price is Right shit on you. Voodoo Bayou Backwoods Magic, because we're going to get into this goddess rose of backwoods magic. And I would think you want to get some of this. Now you're going to have to go on a website, because Voodoo Bayou is the website you tap on, so they have all different types of marinade. This is the barbecue sauce. And this is the barbecue sauce. And we tapped into the Baron Sounding portion and this whole voodoo thing that came up. We're going to go into that whole thing. And believe it or not, I hate to tell you this, but the Christians was right. There is a Jesus, but there's an Egyptian Jesus. And we got to clear that up. The ancient Egyptians, after Horus had reigned for thousands of years, they manifested an Egyptian Gnostic Coptic Jesus that the Romans stole. Yeah. So, this entity, this Jesus character, which is Horus, don't get me wrong, but after different ages, the names have to change, came through in June and said, because we have thrown off Christianity, we threw the baby out with the bathwater, there was an Egyptian Gnostic Jesus called the Egypto-Gnostic Jesus that Jeremiah talks about. And that entity is on the scene. So we're going to trace this thing from Horus. We're going to be careful with it. We're going to trace it from Heru. We're going to see where it traveled all the way up into France, and on into the little island of Haiti, and on into New Orleans in South Carolina. Hey, so in so many words, although the Christians might have been talking about a man 2,000 years ago, they was worshiping Horus all along. Because in the bigger picture, you know, we get all proud and stuff. We learn something new, and we want to just castigate what brought us a certain way. But, so we're going to go into this now. When this Jesus comes, they're not going to accept the imagery and stuff, so they're going to throw the baby out with the bathwater too, have the Christians and stuff, because they still thinking it's some man of 2,000 years walking around in some desert with some sandals on. But it was talking about a future entity whose origin rises up out of slavery. They know it, the Skull and Bones knew it. We're going to go into the science on this. Skull and Bones and these people, they don't mess with stuff, don't work. They study hard enough to track down this real Horus energy. Where is it? Where to identify it? And in 2005, they tried to lay hands on it and try to manifest it. They helped us out a lot on this one. We're going to go into that. But we're dealing with this Voodoo Bayou. Backwoods magic. So when this voodoo stuff surfaced, we went and got a hold of some of this and like to kill ourselves. So for you people that's vegetarians, get you some wheat, gluten, tofu, portobello mushrooms, what have you. But the other ones, get you some fried chicken or what have you. This is the one that brings magic. I went to another never land. Messing with this stuff right here. This is called Voodoo Bayou. B-A-U-B-E-B-A-O-U. Bayou Backwoods Magic. Backwoods Magic. And it's just that. See what I'm saying? Wherever. Oz, Peter Pan, wherever, we was there. So that's what time it is. I just want to show you that. All right. So go on the website and look up Voodoo Bayou. They got all kind of marinades and all kind. But that barbecue sauce, we know about some barbecue sauce. Black people, it would be more fitting to put barbecue grills on top of our churches. We got more of a personal relationship with barbecue grills. That should be our motto. When you think of a black man, barbecue grill, it just makes sense.
That's what we talking about. Barack Obama.
I want to do my infomercial. Okay. All right. Let's see where we're going to go with this stuff. Let's see here. Just want to go, just make sure I get the certain amount of stuff that we could go into before I go into this. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go into the Obama stuff now, and then go into the Baron Somni stuff. But because I'm quite sure these people, something happened. Because boy, I gotta thank Obama because he sure brought y'all out. Now, now. So what we're gonna do is, let me get my stuff up and go into that. Then we can go into the Baron Somni. Now, like I said, now that I always put it, I got it on tape. I did the entire the History Channel where they said that this part of New York, the 5 boroughs, was connected to Morocco.
That's right.
So we got that before continental drift. As a matter of fact, we got the little island of Haiti. It's so powerful because it used to also be a form of before continental drift, which they would also call the lost continent of Atlantis. So all this Atlantis mythology is nothing but the continental drift thing that they have proven based on tectonic plates. So you can either go for the explosion that some people did, some evil musicians, or you can go through the tectonic plates. And so the East Coast of what they were saying on the History Channel of the United States used to be connected to Africa. You see what I'm saying? Now that makes sense when I went to Memphis, Tennessee and read the history. And the history of Memphis, Tennessee is that the Native Americans told them that whatever they did when the new settlers, this has to be named Memphis after Memphis, Egypt, because the priest from Memphis, Egypt, Memphis, Kemetic, founded this particular area in Memphis, Tennessee. So it all comes together. It all comes together. Now it's interesting here because the History Channel said that the whole 5 boroughs and all that used to be connected to Morocco. Then it's interesting because when the Montauk Native Americans, the Montauk Indians, say that this part here used to be an earlier part when man first rose up, like Kilimanjaro. Well, if you're talking about continental drift, they got these stories around the earth. If it was one landmass, then obviously a person could stand wherever he stands. Like Edgar Cayce says, wherever you stand is holy ground. You could be all over the planet. And it can also be, you see what I'm saying, a sacred creation mythology going on. Now, what I want to do is I want to get the new research in melanin. So powerful, and I gotta thank this brother for sending me this. It's so powerful, the new research in melanin. The first thing now, let's see if I got the new research in melanin. It's so awesome until the government immediately started putting patents on it. Started putting patents on this stuff, but I want to give this particular information out because it's right on the website. Right on the website. And that is, let me get my glasses on. You see what I'm saying? You see. After 40, you wake up and just stretch and be to mess yourself up. When you get older, you just for doing nothing. You get hurt by just doing nothing. By just sitting down slowly, you can crack a football or whatever. It's amazing. So me and Barack Obama, the same age. Me, Barack Obama, Eddie Murphy, all born in '61. Whitney Marcellus, Eddie Murphy, Lawrence Fishburne, George Clooney. I'm gonna put him in there because he did an excellent thing on Darfur. You got to give it up. You see what I'm saying? Because the book of Enoch said going to be people come and look like you, and they're going to be helping you, and you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You can't turn away from people that's trying to help you, and although they don't look like you. See what I'm saying? Because this thing, on a universal thing, it all comes around. George Clooney did some shit on Darfur, on HBO. He's done it's one of the best documentaries on it. With the John Dewey and the whole genocide going on there. So you can't throw the baby out there with the bath water. As a matter of fact, I would go to say this. Do you know hating and racism is abnormal to us? When you do something abnormal to yourself, I don't care if somebody did something to you, if you do it back and it's abnormal to your nature and abnormal to your actual temperament, you actually hurt yourself worse than the person that's doing it to you. It's abnormal. You see, so that is why secretly in your mind, you cannot like white. You can talk all day long about damn them crackers when you mad at a certain situation, but you cannot like white people because that's not your nature. Now everybody up in here, I love me some Errol Flynn. You know what it is. Every time I see this man move this, you see what I'm saying? I got all kind of secret people that I like that's white. You know why? Because I'm human. Why? Because it's abnormal and it's unhuman for you to say you're going to hate somebody based on some political stuff. Some of this shit ain't been done to you. See, so my point here is, you can't make the case to say that we are people and our history is we greeted everybody we saw. And that's what John Henry Clark said. Everybody we saw, we greeted with open arms. So my concept here is, a lot of times when we try to match wits to so-called racism or do some things to counter something, if it's against your temperament, that's abnormal. And if it's abnormal, you hurting yourself more than you are. You understand what I'm saying? Because if the melanin is lined up for evolution, and it is not lined up to be interrupted by some crazy shit out of its natural flow, then you doing that, you are actually been put in a position, and that's more of a political thing than it is a spiritual thing. So you're put into a position based on your history of some trauma that's done to you, but if you try to match that trauma by trying to reciprocate the same trauma, that's abnormal to you. And as a result, you end up hurting yourself even more. So we're trying to look at stuff on a much more universal level of how the spirit world works. You understand what I'm saying? My point here is, if something is not your culture and you don't have a temperament to it, you can't try to balance things out by trying to duplicate that which you think has given you trauma. You see what I'm coming from here? And that's how this thing works on the spirit realm. So you end up hurting yourself, you see what I'm saying, by reacting to certain things, and that's probably how diabetes and all other kind of crazy shit be coming on and stuff like that. It's all an ecological system, and you can throw it off based on your mindset. Y'all all right with that? Yeah. I'm just, you know, we got to be real here. You see what I'm saying? Because lip service ain't really got us no damn well. See what I'm saying? Alright, I just want to put that out, because if we're going to do this, we got to deal with what works biologically. And our biology is even changing, and our DNA is changing. So we can't be walking around in 1930 with a 1930 mentality. You have to go where the frequency is that's changed. And if your DNA has changed, then you got to meet, you understand what I'm saying, the new plateau of where your DNA is. And that's melanin magic at its best. But I'm going to put this out there. This is government patented. Now what I want to do here, I found, and see, that's good. My grandmother was a school teacher. My mother was a school teacher. My mother's sister was a school teacher. My mother's brothers was. I come from a family of school teachers. And I realize that school teachers have the ability to, it's one thing to read for yourself, but it's another thing to read to a classroom. Read to a classroom, and there's a science in the way they can learn based on the way you read. So I can come here and I can start saying a certain amount of things, but there's certain things. So is anybody in here a school teacher? All right, you sister, I want you to come up here and I want you to read how you would read to your class You see, sometimes you have to change the venue because I want you to see this stuff that the government has planned. They have over 30 different herbs that they're saying now that has melanin in it. And they will tell you all this, and you need to pay. Okay, so first of all, what I want to do is, I want to put, you're going to go to the internet, and you're going to write down, you're going to type in Jonathan, no, excuse me. Yeah, my glasses, I'm messing up. Joe, and these brand new. I just got these last 2. Shit. Joe Nathan Treasures Herb Law. So Joe Nathan, then it says Treasures with apostrophe S, Herb Law. Herb Law, excuse me, okay. Herb Law. Herbblog. So that's, read that shit out. I got these from America's Best. 2 glasses plus eye exam for $60. Just don't get no bifocal. Okay, what's that?
It says Jonathan Treasures Herb Law.
There you go. All right. Now, right here. Oh, you got the camera on me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Melanin Mystery authors grab patent on 30 herbs. What's that word?
As immunomodulators.
Yeah, oh, that's what I like. See
Immunomodulators.
me, I would come up here, and what I would do is I would make up some shit. Immunomodulators. See, I would say something else, and you wouldn't know it. But since I'm telling you to go to a website, I don't want you to get to the website. You go, this nigga right here can't read rubber shit. So, what say again? It's melanin?
Immunomodulators. Orthographs patents on 30 herbs as immunomodulators.
Right. So what this is they grabbing patents on what they now know that they're saying that the actual that has herbs that have melanin in them. So she's gonna read out the list of the herbs. So go ahead and start reading.
Okay. A melanin preparation as an immunostimulatory agent from at least one of the following botanicals: echinacea,
Melanin.
American ginseng,
Melanin.
black walnut, green tea, parthenium, intergrifolium, Korean ginseng, alfalfa sprouts, ginger, golden seal, red clover, dandelion, black horse, licorice, chamomile, milk thistle, alfalfa, horsetail, astragalus, gotu kola, feverfew, valerian, hawthorn, rosemary, saw palmetto, ephedra, paudarco, ginkgo, garlic, St. John's wort, agaricus bisporus, common mushroom, agaricus bisporus brown straw, which is portobello mushroom, Lentinius edodes, which is shiitake mushrooms, Boletus edulus, which is porcini mushroom. Also discloses methods of treating a subject requiring immune mediation, compromising, administering to said subject therapeutically effective amount of melanin preparation from any one of the following botanicals: echinacea, American ginseng, black walnut, green tree, parthenium interferolium, Korean ginseng, alfalfa sprouts, ginger, golden seal, red clover, dandelion, black horse, licorice, chamomile, milk thistle, alfalfa, horsetail, astragalus, gotu kola, feverfew, valerian, hawthorn, rosemary, saw palmetto, ephedra, paudarco, ginkgo, garlic, St. John's wort, the common mushroom, the portobello mushroom, the shiitake mushroom, and the porcini mushroom.
All of these they are saying now has melanin in them. Or as Panic said, it could suggest that which activates melanin. We have to find out. But again, Joe Nathan Treasures Herbal. Herbal. I don't keep saying log like Star Trek, Captain Kirk shit, Herbal or whatever. Herbal. So anybody who's interested after the lecture, you can come down and either like the www dot or what have you. But they're saying that they got patents on these now. The government has patents on this stuff, and they're saying all this about it. And it's interesting here because the green tea is a green tea craze. You see what I'm saying? There's a green tea craze, and a lot of this has to do with new melanin research. So I wanted to log that in. Y'all all right? Yeah. Okay. Want to log that in. Another thing too, if you've been hearing this thing about African Americans are most susceptible to stroke, and they've been running this thing, anytime they don't give a damn about you, that's more Negroes off the planet. Feed them more salt. So anytime you see that the TV is interested in you to find out about your stroke, is because that is one of the keys with melanin, the new technology, as a form of nuclear fuel. And that's what this is about. June Puckham was one of the first people to talk about it. And I didn't hear her take on this until after I figured it out. Because when I kept hearing this, you know that African Americans are most susceptible to stroke. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on now. I'm like, this might have something. It might have something to do with something, but it's not that they are interested in helping you out on this one. I'm like, so what? So they want you to come and do all this research, and they're running this free commercial and all. They ain't trying to sell nothing. They just want research. And the mystery to this is this. What they're finding out here is that the Kundalini energy or the Shakti power, which is this ultimate feminine energy that the East Indians say, at the end of the world, the Shakti returns. Now that's about interesting how the Buddha, at the end of the Bodhisattva's journey, he turns into a woman. So they're talking about a feminine energy. And I ain't telling you to go get you some lipsticks and some high heels and a dress and walk out here. You see what I'm saying? Or some breast implants. I'm not talking about that. We're talking about something beyond the physical aspect. We're talking about a feminine energy that they talk about in the ancient Indian text, East Indian text. That the return of the Christ is the return of the divine feminine. And that energy of what they're saying is a Shakti energy, which is a nuclear energy. If we could call it that, for lack of a better word. I'm just trying to give you the nuclear, that's the powerful stuff. So I'm just trying to, you understand what I'm saying? It's, subatomic energy would be more of the stuff that's lining up with melanin. You see? Subatomic energy. Now, what this thing is saying here is, and June Puckham explains that this particular energy is so powerful that you stroke out when you don't evolve to a certain level to handle the power. That your DNA, your evolution is going to. Obviously, you are conscious people, and based on your consciousness, you have developed a certain amount of stuff. I don't care what kind of information you put in there. Certain things that's in your brain, in your endocrine system, that opens up. There's certain receptors that come online and mature based on you learning. And to give you an example, when you don't learn a certain amount, and this energy rises to coincide or to be conducive to these receptors in your brain that open up based on learning. When you don't learn, when the energy rises, you stroke out. See what I'm saying? You stroke out. That's what's going down. And so that is the reason, I'm just trying to give you the reason why they would be interested in studying you and the stroke. They're studying you and the stroke just like they're studying cold fusion and different types of new technology, which they call nanotechnology. You see what I'm saying? Now, it's interesting. I got to get the brother's name. His name is this brother that sent me all this information from California. His last name is Satterwhite, but I want to do, because I don't want to come and lecture, and a person who's gracious enough to do the research to send me this stuff on the 30 herb patents that he did, and I get up here and run my mouth and don't give a brother credit. You see what I'm saying? It ain't about that. This is not show business where we steal people's shit. You know, or the fashion world, where I got to keep my designs under wrap. The brother who did this, that sent me this so graciously, was a brother. His last name is Satterwhite. And for right now, I've been calling his name all week. Eric Satterwhite.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he sent some research to Devil Black, he's telling me.
Yeah, he sent my website also.
He's in your website, Eric Satterwhite. He's the one that sent me the stuff on the herbs. And he hit me to this. Back in 1993, a guy went to I think it was a Yoruba priest, and there was this guy who just hated him, a probation officer, and said, look, I'm working on sending you back to prison. He said, why? I just got out. He said, I don't like you. Maybe it was his color, maybe he was too dark skinned or what have you. This guy was a real Klansman. And so he went to a priest, and the priest gave him a bath to take and said, whenever you go before him again, he won't even recognize you. So he took the spiritual bath, went before the guy, and he didn't recognize him. Who are you? The next Monday morning. And he walked out and never went back, and that was that. Well, it took 11 years for us to get the ritual, and the queen that I'm with now, the sister that I'm with now, had obtained the ritual in D.C., in Washington, D.C. So when she came down, she gave the ritual, and I put the ritual, the spirit bath with 3 caps of ammonia, 3 caps of bleach, 3 caps of lemon juice, 3 caps of apple cider vinegar, and a half a cup of sea salt in a big bathtub of water. Now this is how the spirit world works. So people have been asking me, bleach and ammonia and all this kind of stuff here. I said, sometimes you need to do stuff because it's coming. And what it was is this. They have a lot of rituals that come out of Africa. But the priest went underground, or years of decay, the priest died off, but these rituals are still around, and these families hold on to these rituals. So we might not know the methodology, the scientific methodology on why it works. You understand what I'm saying? But the rituals are still there, still intact. So now with us being Mr. Intellectual and I'm Mr. Wheatgrass, careful diet person and all this, and they don't understand some things are spiritual. You see what I'm saying? That have a higher paradox to them than what you can rationally think of based on your limited education. You see what I'm saying? And Western education is a limited education. Not so much that Western education not bad, it's just that they keep the good shit for themselves. It's called a lodge. They give you 4 years of education and they spend years in the lodge, not the black lodge. You're just eating pumpkin pie and just singing little Negro spirituals. I'm not talking about that. Drinking liquor and driving cab. Yeah, okay. In a few minutes. But one was 3 caps of ammonia, 3 caps of bleach, 3 caps of lemon juice, 3 caps of apple cider vinegar, and a half a cup of sea salt. Now, the brother Eric Satterwhite gave me some information which spiritually, with him doing his research, because he does the research, he breaks that Devil Blair off, does the research, like I say, sends stuff to your website, and then he said, I got this research, and this brother said, and he gave me this information on this research, and I said, My goodness, you have broke one of the keys that was lost from the Africans on the scientific part. You see, they have the ritual, but nobody knows what is the mechanism that make these things work. So to put you wheatgrass people at ease, let's give you the scientific thing. He said this. He said, do you know that ammonia opens up the melanocytes that the melanin granule particles can come through? Wow. I said, there it is. Because this ritual was, you're supposed to get in and take this bath, and it's supposed to enhance your aura and clean your body to the point whereas you can go invisible on people. You can heal, you can do all this stuff. And I said, look at that. You see what I'm saying? Now let's see if we can find that website that deals with that. Let's see if we can find that website. Y'all all right? Let's see what he talks about. Let's see, Science Direct. I need this sister to come back up here and give me this damn pronunciation again. This is international. Oh shit, you gotta come on back up here. What I'm doing is normally we could get through this, but we're trying to deal with stuff that when you go to the website, you got one number off or one letter off, and shit ain't gonna pop up. So I want her to read this. Yeah.
Science Direct.
Yeah.
International Immunopharmacology.
Say it louder, say it louder.
Okay.
Oh, Science Direct. International Immunopharmacology.
Thank you.
Melanin, dietary, mucosal, immune, ...
Whoa.
Say that last part again.
Melanin, dietary, mucosal. And it says immune and ...
So all they got to do is really just type in that.
Yes. Just go to
Science
Google
International.
and type it. You can type in Science Direct and then go to abstract keywords and put in International Immunopharmacology. Immunopharmacology.
Now, right, you are so lovely.
Yes, thank you.
I'm telling you. And she made, and you notice, because she has that West Indian sound, she sounds just like the people in an international airport. Over the loudspeaker. See what I'm saying? She sounds like somebody in an international airport. I said, all right now. Okay. Now this is interesting here because when you tap in this is also goes as far as say that the ammonia opens up the melanocytes for the melanin granule molecules to come through, but it also says it is directly connected to nanotechnology.
Wow.
Now this is the new melanin technology. Nanotechnology is the smallest type of particles of what they deal with in the new form of technology they've been dealing with in the last 20 years called nanotechnology. And they're saying that the melanin has something to do with nanotechnology. See what this stuff is? So we talk about a new technology. You see what I'm saying? And they got you trained on weapons that's not even in Iraq. And they're dealing with this type of stuff. Y'all all right?
Yeah.
So I want to log that stuff in. If you're interested in any of this stuff, you can come up after the lecture and write down the www.stuff yourself. But this is where the future, where this stuff is going to. So this whole aspect of the stroke, they realize that these people are stroking out not because of the diet, but they're straight stroking out because of a new power that's rising up in them. Of a new power that's rising up in them. And they're stroking out. You see what I'm saying? Because they haven't, their consciousness hadn't risen to the level, you see what I'm saying, to receive this new energy. Y'all got that? So let me say that again. The stroke, they now know, is a new energy among us based on our DNA change. And the stroke is based on certain people's consciousness that is not at a certain level to receive that new energy. And so that's why they saying, we want to research you. Come on in and let's research. See what's going down? Now, meanwhile, like I said prior, because we got to understand, we have to understand the agenda. We get all this scare tactics about the Illuminati, but we have to understand the agenda on what they're dealing with. Meanwhile, don't let nobody fool you. This particle accelerator that they got in Switzerland, that they just cut on, is directly related to melanin and nanotechnology. It's called Collider. Go on the internet, look up Collider, particle accelerator from Switzerland. And this is where the earth is in it right now. They're dealing with dark matter. That's why you got to go to not Barnes and Nobles or Borders or whatever. You got to go to Forbidden Planet. And you got to get a role-playing system or a book called Dark Matter. Dark Matter is either a computer game, it's a role-playing book. You can buy the book and read it for yourself. And all the new technology, melanin technology, is in that role-playing book. But they'll put it in Forbidden Planet comic book shop. You see what I'm saying? To keep the dummies away. See what I'm saying? Now, it was ironic because I said in 99, I got a comic book where it was talking shit about Leonard Jefferson. In the comic book. Or the role-playing book. So there's a role-playing system called Dark Matter. And it's about a war that's going on with dark matter. Different people battling with different people. And they got everybody involved. And not only that, they got every continent involved. So you need to get that role-playing book, because that's where the stuff is going to be. We're talking about this for years, about the role-playing games and stuff. Well, the one now is dark matter that directly lines up with this particle accelerator that they just cut on in Switzerland. And Eric White, his brother, sent me the Dark Matter book on nanotechnology. And that's what's going on. Any questions on this right quick? We want to be sure. What's that, brother?
Yeah, like in Spider-Man 3, wasn't there some black matter coming down from the...
Listen. Spider-Man 3 had to do with the Sandman. And the Sandman was melanin. Because the 1980 book, the book called The Fucanelli Phenomenon, by Kenneth Rayner Johnson, they talk about melanin being a sand-like substance. And that always resonated with me, because that's that whole thing of crossing the burning sands in the fraternity. The burning sands they're talking about is melanin. You crossing the burning sands on into the pineal, what have you. See what I'm saying? Now, what is the sand but a small particle that came from a rock? Now, on December 25th, the god Mithra, which is, the Christians basically incorporated that day. You see, of December 20th, it used to be the Roman god Mithra, is born on a rock in a cave. The cave is the inner regions of your mind. The rock is called a philosopher's stone, or the purified stone, which is the pineal gland. You see, that also means that some of this stuff jumps off on December 25th. Now, the last time on December 25th, we saw a tiger called Tatiana walk through a wall and kill 2 or 3 people in the San Francisco Zoo. And they know damn well it didn't jump over no fence, because they spent a couple of $1 million fortifying the cat's den that summer. But it walked through the wall and killed those people. And in February, one in Hawaii walked through the wall, but they got it back in the cage because the zoo was not open earlier that morning. These dimensions are bumping in. Well, let me give you an example of what happened to us. We started feeding 2 cats in 2006, and now we're up to 9. Because 2 of the cats had litters. And this time, this cat came around and she had all black litters. So we got 9 black cats. Ooh, that's some funky stuff there. But one day, the neighbor has this dog in their front yard. So we was concerned because we got cats. And so I was like, hey, that's a new dog you got. That's your dog? I said, no, that's not my dog. That dog just showed up on my front yard. And won't go away. And we just fed it. And then she said this, and that's when I knew it was a gateway to open, just like the Tatiana cat. She said, we tried to take it 9 miles out and drop it off on Campbellton Road. 9 miles out because it was way up Campbellton Road. They took it 9 miles out and they said when we got back to the house, he was in the front yard again. When we read that, he said that we tried to take the dog 9 miles out and leave it, but when we got back to the house, he was in the front yard because it's a gateway. He saw the gateway when he crossed over, and he saw it again on Campbellton Road and walked back into the gateway in the dimension and landed back in the yard. That's that jumpers thing that's going on. So these dimensions are bumping into each other. See what I'm saying? So the Tatiana walked through, she did a sharp one, she walked through the wall on the other side and killed the 2 people, but that's December 25th. So that means there's a lot of stuff that happens on this Christmas and a lot of stuff that happens in Capricorn, which has to deal with Saturn and has to deal with this Baron Samedi. Has to do with this Baron Samedi. Now, let's go into a visual aspect of some things. Y'all all right? Yeah. Okay, now let me show you what's going on. Because let me get some pictures out here. I want to show you what's going down. See if I can get some pictures here. Let's see here. Okay, we're gonna cut off the lights. We're gonna go through this visual stuff. So I need a light man to stand there, but I need a light man that's gonna. I need a volunteer light man that's gonna be on post because I need you to cut them on and cut them off. This brother here, man. I'll take that brother there back. That was me. This brother is just like this brother here, boy. Okay, I'm gonna hand you the stuff and I want you to. Okay. Now, I'm gonna hand you that. So what we're gonna deal with is this. Okay. All right. Let's get busy. First of all, I want to leave off what I did this spring of the year, because I haven't spring of the year, and I just want to go into this what I did in the spring of the year to lead up to that, to lead up to this. All right. I'm gonna hand them to you, and you put them on. Last time I did this part was right after I left here. I went and did a lecture with TJ down in the DC area, and so you didn't get this particular information, but I want to deal with this. Exhibit 1. This is a Moorish. Now pull it up as far as you can. Yeah, yes, yeah. This shit here so messed up. It don't even do nothing in the dark. This whole 1930. Okay, now, kind of focus as the best you can. This is a seal. Anybody remember the name of this Moorish guy? Now, this is the seal from the Pope. The Pope that came, Pope Benedict II or whatever have you. But the name of, that's the thing, but let's get this, he's under the house of a Moor. Now, C. Prevenel used to say that the Moors were the ones that created the coat of arms. That's black nobility type thing, you see. But this particular, I think his name was Maurice, Saint Maurice. Okay. And so this is Pope Benedict. Let's show a picture, and so I want you to just take this and politely just put it, don't take the other one off, just kind of put that on top of it or put that beside so that some people can see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just, you got to look at the screen to do it. Yeah, there you go, superimpose. Now that's his seal. That's his seal. Now, moving right along, he came wearing these red shoes.
That's right. Yep.
Now here it is, we've been catching hell all these years. We've been the butt of all jokes because we wear red shoes. That's some nigga shit right there. You know, Pope done did it. See what I'm saying? What time it is? But he said, I'm a Moor. See what I'm saying? Got them red shoes, and these red shoes represent a bloodline. A bloodline. And the bloodline that he was coming to see and to visit, the bloodline that he was coming to visit, y'all all right? Was none other than this. They met, and this is why he came to this country. To meet Barack Obama. So this whole thing about the president was already sanctioned back in the day. You see. Now the media can play all kind of games, get everybody into all kind of stuff. All you gotta do is throw some racism stuff up in there, and you get everybody bloodballing and stuff. You say, well, it's a hard-fought campaign. You see what I'm saying? That's bull. That's who it was for. But I, unlike the other people, say that it was a divine destiny. So no matter if the Pope sanctioned it or these other elites sanctioned it, because probably there had to be some sanctioning for him to even get up in there. That's the way the game is played. But what I'm trying to tell you, there's a spirit world that put the Pope in place as a pawn, to put the secret societies in place as a pawn, to get him, you understand what I'm saying, to return to the double White House. The Pharaoh has to return to the double White House. That's Egyptian. See what I'm saying? And he returns with a wife who's Congo in origin. That's Apollo. Her family's from South Carolina. Congo. Now it's interesting here that we got an email from a sister named Stephanie. I got to give it up to the people who doing the work. So that will inspire you to send me things. I shouldn't have to be the lecturer without an intelligentsia force. This is where this thing going, because we ain't following nobody. So you break me off some information. You see what I'm saying? TJ does it, send me damn near 100 Washington Post. Like, goddamn. I'm just saying, you got to break me off stuff, and this is how we're supposed to be an intelligentsia group, other than getting in the corner following this person, and arguing about whose group is right. The pieces have to come together. So, the red and black dress that she wore was consciously done. If it wasn't consciously done, why did one daughter having a black dress and another daughter having a red dress? See what I'm saying? Number one, we know it's the colors of the leg bar, God of the crossroads. Well, a change ain't nothing ultimately to change. You got to go to the crossroads to change. But we got some new information from a sister from Cleveland called Stephanie, or Ursa Mayat, her Egyptian name, said that the origin of the one is traced back to the Voodoo people. Anybody heard of the Voodoo people in Africa, which is the Congo thing, which is key because she comes from South. Her family is connected to Georgetown, South Carolina, and that's straight up Geechee. And it's also Congo because they dropped most of the Congolese off in South Carolina. The book Flash of the Spirit, the white boy that did the research on that, he did the research on the whole Congo thing and the South Carolina connection. See what I'm saying? So we got some double power, and I say this too. Them girls got some power on them too, especially that little one. See what I'm saying? Now, he went through a tough war. Remember now, if it was already sanctioned, then what we're talking about here is a ritual. First of all, he has a halo on here on this one. On this one. Now, this is called the creative loafing down in Atlanta. And this is the symbology. He's riding the white unicorn. Unicorn. Make sure you get the unicorn in there. There you go. He's riding the unicorn. The unicorn is symbolic of the pineal gland. Now you need to get a book called it's a book called
Behold the pale horse.
no, they talk about the unicorn in there. No, but I'm talking about the lure. I'm talking on the esoteric level. The lure of the unicorn. The unicorn is mentioned in the Bible. And it's also talking about the horns. The horns of the unicorn is the pineal gland. That's why when you get the movie Legend, and they had an enchanted forest that we used to live in when we used to live in our paradise. And then what happened? They broke the unicorn off one of the unicorn, broke the pineal gland off one of the unicorn, and the whole enchanted paradise turned into a wasteland of all horrors and stuff. It's about like our story. So this one here is returning with the unicorn. You see what I'm saying? Now let's go on. In Indonesia, which we know that he spent time in Indonesia. He was born in Hawaii. His mother got married to a guy from Indonesia. They went to no, I'm talking about after, not Kenya, after. She got married to a guy from Indonesia after he was born. The other daughter is born by this guy from Indonesia. His half sister. Then they moved to Indonesia. Now in Indonesia, they worship the monkey god all over Indonesia, all over India, all in Japan, all in China, all in Cambodia. Now we find out, you can go on the internet, they show it. He now comes with a charm that he wears on his wrist, and he also has a tattoo on his body of the god Hemmitt, the monkey god. Put that up on Barack Obama's body. He who has Hannibal by their side cannot lose a war, is victorious. There's a book called the tale comes from the Ramayana. The Ramayana is a god called Rama. Rama is a form of Horus. But Rama is married because he's the incarnation of Vishnu. He's married to Sita, who is an incarnation of Lakshmi. A demon called Ravana, which also represents the matrix in the physical world, steals Sita and takes her to his kingdom. So Rama got to go get back his babe, and in order to get back his babe, he has to hire Hanuman. And Hanuman builds a monkey bridge with an aid of 10,000 monkeys. Now, this is actually a melanin story, because the monkey, what is a melanin? They say melanin never stops moving when it's in the body. If you look at the chimpanzees or the orangutans, especially in the part of East India and Asia, they're real sporadic. It's called a monkey mind. James Brown was connected to Hanuman, and that's why he was able to do the one, what is it, the 1-2 beat? What's the beat called? Huh? The 1-2 beat, whatever the beat. James Brown changed the beat on the planet. But later on, come to find out that he was connected to this particular deity called Hanuman. He's a form of Tahuti and Anubis in Egypt. He's a form of Legba, the trickster. Okay? So Barack Obama has this Hanuman tattooed on him somewhere, and he wears a charm bracelet. They have the charm bracelet on the internet. As a result, he's going to be victorious. It's another picture of Hanuman you can put up. You see, you can put up. Now, this is the great mystery behind this. First of all, I wanted to put this one up because the last person to do this as any kind of ruler, and I want to put this up. That's Hanuman. I used to sell a lot of these. You see what I'm saying? You know. You know. Huh? Yeah, he does look like Michael Jackson, don't he? I gotta check into that too. But the last person to do this Now, the last person to do this as any kind of ruler was Akhenaten. Akhenaten. Anytime, you ain't never seen no kind of ruler show that kind of affection. She got her eyes rolling back in her head. Homeboy's a player from the Himalayas. A player from the Himalayas. See what I'm saying? A player from the Himalayas. Now, I just had to put that up there because you ain't never seen a world leader. The last one to do that was Akhenaten. And they got statues of him. Got his babe on his lap, cuffing that booty. Now, top part of the statue broke off. But it's on there. I just wanted to give you, want to show you the kind of energy and stuff that we're talking about. Now, just remember now, if you look at this as a political oddity, you're going to miss the boat. This has nothing to do with whether he could change your life politically. You understand what I'm saying? Only you can do that. You see what I'm saying? Only you can do that. You see, it has nothing to do with that. It's only the image to wake something up in you. So this is how the story goes. This is why the ancestors put him there. Your DNA has changed. But you're walking around and you're dormant because you still thinking it's 1975 and everything is the same thing. You're getting on with your everyday lives. Totally oblivious. Not to the people that's ruling you, but totally oblivious to the energies inside of you. So, in order to wake up you from a slumber, something different has to happen. Remember in the Matrix they say, this has never been done before. When it was going to get Morpheus, and he said that's exactly why it's going to work. See what I'm saying? So in order for you, the DNA inside of you to surface, you got to have a shock. Goddamn, how big a shock can it get to be the president of the United States? Not even for black people, but for white people. That's a change universally. Even the people that look at America as certain things, but they damn sure know that 43 of them presidents was white. Because they don't know nothing about the Hanson thing in the first seven. Right. You see, no, it's more than that. If you include Warren G. Hardin, if you include Warren G. Hardin, Abraham Lincoln, Eisenhower, who's other? Alexander Hamilton. Well, he wasn't. Calvin Coolidge, with contaminated blood, as they call it, of the Melungeons, then we got more than 7. See, we got about 11 or 13 of them, whatever. You see. Now, the key here is, and I tell you now, the stuff that's coming out, that Marilyn Monroe had a tinge of the Moor in her. You see what I'm saying? Oh, Giuliani too?
Yeah, he said he was that was moved by the Moor.
And guess what? You know J. Edgar Hoover was.
Yeah.
And so Marilyn Monroe, you see, and she took Hollywood by storm because she's not an original blonde. See what I'm saying? She was a brunette.
Right.
And she never wore no underwear. Now that's the science of the ancient woman. Because the ancient woman, when we used to rule, there was no such thing as drawers. So therefore, the ecological system, that's a whole other ecological system. See what I'm saying? I showed you the picture of the continent. I think I showed you the continent of Africa. The vagina shaped like the continent of Africa. I showed you that the last time I was here. The vagina shaped like the continent of Africa. And they say every continent on the planet is shaped like the vagina. See what I'm saying? But look, they did a book called a coloring book. Need an order. They did it in the 1970s. They sold millions of copies around the world. You think it's a sexual thing? No. They got a whole ecological system that they study based on the vagina. And so they did a book that came out in the 70s called a coloring book. Sold millions of copies. But when you buy it, you can see that the woman is nothing but a global perspective. See what I'm saying? Get that book. That's for scientific research. The Cut Coloring book. They made it in the 70s, not for sheer entertainment. Everybody got it. Around it was an international bestseller. The Cut Coloring. You go online and order the Cut Coloring book, and you get to see the vagina without with the forest removed from around it, and then you start to understand what's going on.
The Olympics too.
Yeah. Yeah, all of that. You gotta understand what's going on. Get that book. That's a very important book. You see what I'm saying? It'll change your life. All right. Let's go on. Let's go on. If you want to know what the papacy is about, get this book called Papal Magic. This is the book to tell you what the Pope and them be getting down with. And they get down with all the stuff they tell you you shouldn't get down with. Occult practices within the Catholic Church by Simon. Just came out in January. It came out a few months before he arrived, the Pope. Simon was the guy that wrote the Necronomicon book. And he put this out, and they're releasing this stuff. Even that boy that died, Heath Ledger. One of his movies was called The Order. And in that movie, they tell you what the Catholic Church is really about. It's an occult organization. And they've been an occult organization, but they got everybody's shit up under the Vatican. But you need to get this particular book, because this particular book was the first one to give you the whole magical practices and what they get down with. It's very important. Papal magic. You see what I'm saying? So they're into the African thing, or the occult thing, or the Egypt. They're into all of that. And they show it in this book. And ironic, they don't just put stuff out. They put this out prior to him. They put this thing out in January. And he got here, I think, in March and stuff. Next thing you know, he's meeting with Barack Obama. Let's go on. Put this up. This is a mushroom. Now follow this story. This is a mushroom that is very poison. But the shaman who has elevated his energy to a certain chakra systems and kundalini energy would eat this mushroom and then urinate it out and give it to the people in the village, and the village people would go into altered states of consciousness. When the reindeer, this was in Siberia, when the reindeer would eat this mushroom, they would try to fly. They would think they was birds and try to fly. So this story, Siberia, ice, reindeer, flying reindeer, does this have a ring to it when you look at the color of the mushroom? Saint, shaman, saint, Santa Claus. You see what the story? It's a drug story. For Christmas. It's a drug story. You getting this? You see, altered states of consciousness, but it's also a story on melanin. Because the altered states of consciousness is what they was dealing with. You understand what I'm saying? What they was dealing with, the stuff was talking about, and dealing with the whole Christmas thing. Or the winter solstice. Y'all all right? Yeah. The fairs. As a matter of fact, the brother Kalindi shows that the entire Kalindi out of Detroit shows that the entire, all your papyruses of the Book of the Dead, they got mushrooms all through it. They got sacred mushrooms all through it. Well, I don't suggest you get into the mushroom thing because the simple fact, you need somebody there to pull you out of it. They have to tap you on your shoulder 3 times if you're going to the truth. But what I do want to get into is this. Put this on me. Y'all all right?
Yeah.
Now, flip it over the other way.
All right now. This way.
Turn it around.
You better not work for United Artists.
Flip it over.
Leave you kids alone, nigga.
Flip it over.
Just put it down. No, not that way, man.
Turn it around
Keep on
now.
turning it around. There you go. There you go. Now, what I want you to do is move it over till I tell you to stop. Stop. All right. Over in this corner, that's the god Osiris. Y'all pretty much can make out. Osiris. He's being offered something. And what he's being offered right here is a duck. That's what you got to get into. You meat eaters. The duck that is being offered to Osiris. Now, first of all, this is the ancient god. They can't offer him nothing that's not beneficial to humanity, because he brings nourishment and nutrition to humanity. He and Isis. So he's being offered in the papyrus text a duck. And this is the mystery. There is the oil from the duck is a healing oil. You have the olive oil in Christian mythology. You got the crocodile oil in ancient Egypt, but you also have the duck oil that later on ends up in China. And the Asians deal with the duck. But black people have been eating duck sauce all your life, and most of y'all ain't had no damn duck. You know what duck sauce is, but you never had no duck. Now this is something both can benefit from. This is something that both can benefit from. And that is this. You people that don't eat meat. I went to Cleveland, Ohio 3 weeks ago, and I had this on. And I showed them. And a woman stood up and said when they were children, the mother would rub them down with duck oil. So for you non-meat eaters, get you some duck. It's oily, and rub certain things down for healing with duck oil. Now for the people that do eat meat, this is the best stuff you can get, is the duck. You see what I'm saying? Because of the oil in it is healing. That's one of the great mysteries. The first thing you know when you get sick, you get dry looking. All right? So the oil is great for healing. It's a healing oil. And this is why it's being offered to Osiris. Well, take your pick. Now, I just told you what time it was. There's things that go on in the physical world, and there's things that go on in the spiritual world. This is one of them. Y'all all right? Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. All right. See where we going here. Let's deal with this right quick. Let's deal with these two right quick. Okay. 2 weeks ago, people came to my house and took us out to eat. Me and my queen, Linda. And took us out to eat. First of all, I want to show you this. I want to show you this first before I go into this. I want to show you this. Me and my queen, you need to get the tapes. Anybody get the tapes from London tapes? Yeah. Well, I go to the British Museum. We go to the British Museum. Well, and I'll give you that in a few minutes, but hold on. This is me and my queen in London at the British Museum. This was a family of segments, about 5 of them. We were standing between. You see, now go down a little bit, push it down, no, go down, no, that's going up. Go down. You don't happen to drive, do you? This is like, we're standing in front of a family of segments. Now go up. That's us visiting the god Ganesha. The god Ganesha is a very powerful deity that's on the scene right here. This is us, me and my queen. Put that up there. This is what I want to show you here. Is this one. This is us with the black folks from London, England. Some of y'all might know this brother here because he used to be in New York. I don't know if you can see this. He used to be here. He gave me a Purple Heart back in '97. He used to be with Sister Myra. He later on migrated over there because his mother was over there. He took care of her and she died and he stayed over there. But this is black people. There's 1 million black people over there, and we was over there the whole time, and we never thought that we was outside of Harlem. Perception is everything, because I told them, look, I see 2 or 3 of you all on beside a whole bunch of white folks. You see what I'm saying? In America, we think it's just a family, a community of you, which is about 100 people. There's millions, and we never, even when we went around Buckingham Palace, we was right in Harlem. Perception is everything. You see what I'm saying? We was like, and this is me and my queen right here. They treated us like Michael Jackson. Straight up. They treated us like that's another one that we did. Me and her. They treated us like Michael Jackson over there. Over there. Now, I want to show you this. No, this is what I wanted to say about that. This is what I want to say about my trip there. On the way back on the plane, Marcus Garvey came through on the plane. He said, I sent you over there so that you can uncover a great tragedy that happened after they deported me in the 1920s. He said, what did you see about the Garvey movement that you don't see now? And that was, did you ever notice that the Garvey movement, that it was thousands of people? And you know they got chapters all over the world. But that there was thousands of people in New York with the Garvey movement. And it was Caribbean, black people in America, Africans, and everybody was together. And he said, this is it. He said, and you haven't been able to get that ever since. He said, do you know that after they deported me, they worked for 70 years around the clock to make sure that the African community, the Caribbean community, the African American community, and people in the diaspora never meet again on that particular level. And so we sitting around here, player hating on each other. We don't know. It was a COINTEL. I don't know what it was back then, FBI, what have you. But it was a government conspiracy to split up the diaspora. And I had to go to London and meet with the Caribbean and African communities over there. You understand what I'm saying? Because we was never successfully to have the mass turnout in this Afrocentric and conscious community thing that we've been having for the last 13 years, where we had the diaspora. You see what I'm saying? And so they said that you need to understand that sometimes we're around here and we're divided because that is a government science that they have been doing ever since they deported him. They said we got to work on never putting them together. And so that's why they have these particular people that come in the neighborhood and teach separation of this happening. That's just what it would that, and that was one of the reasons. That was one of the reasons why that happened. Now let's go on. Let's go on. Now I want to put this up so people after they get through. You can come up to me and get one of these. This is a dice divination. So you take a dice, you ask a question. It's 1 through 12. You shake the dice, you throw it down, and whatever the numbers on them dice come up, this stuff will answer your question. Right. So you do it twice. So you throw it down once. It answers your question. Then you throw it down. Then you throw one down twice. So you throw 2 dice down once. It answers your question. And you throw 1 dice down again, and it answers your question. The dice divination. We got these for $5. They really work for only the price of $5. All right. Now, let me tell you what happened 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry, sister. I done put that on your boots and stuff like that. I'll tell you. Now, let me show you what happened 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I was some people came to take us to dinner. When we got to the restaurant, they called these people's name out. The brother's name is Bob and Juliet. and his wife, they called the name out Party of Samuel. And I've been knowing them since 1995. And they said Samuel, and I said, wait a minute, hold on, Samuel? Ain't that the name of the devil? I said, because Samuel is married to Lilith. And you know the mystery of Lilith. That's the first one that say, I ain't getting down with you, Adam, trying to get up on top of me. We're going to either do this shit equally or I'm getting the hell on. Now, this is interesting here. Now, follow me on this. So when we got back to the house, I dug up a seal for him. You get one of the seals. Hold on. Let's see. Put that on there. This is the seal of Samuel. Seal of Samuel. Dug up this seal. Now, so I told him that Samuel was the husband. Now look at this story. Samuel is the husband. Boy, this university need to be ashamed of themselves. They got an overhead projector that can't project in the dark. This is hard. This is hard. Now, so what happened was, I showed him the seal of Samuel. Now the story goes that Lilith, who is supposed to renegade, she wouldn't lie down with Adam, and so that was his first wife. She gets back up to the heaven realms or whatever, and they put people to search for her, and she becomes the renegade of the goddess and stuff like that. And then, but they say one day Lilith will raise up and she will sit on the right hand side of God. But Samuel's her husband. How's she going to sit on the right-hand side of God? They're trying to tell you the mystery that Samuel, God, and Satan is one and the same based on polarities. It's all in a book called Hebrew Goddess by Raphael Patrick. They don't put that. The Jews will go get that and they won't mention that book to you. The Hebrew Goddess by Raphael Patrick. Because they don't want you to know that the Hebrews got a whole line of goddesses. It's put out Wayne State University. Very important book.
How do you spell that last name?
Raphael Patti, P-A-T-T-I. Raphael Patti, the Hebrew Goddess, a must-have. A must-have book on the feminine face of God called the Shekinah. That's called Shekinah. It's also called Shakti in India. It's called Sekhmet in Africa, Egypt. But Shekinah is connected. They say Lilith becomes the Shekinah when she rises up as the feminine face of God and sit on the right hand of God, which is also Samuel. All right, now, so I told them about the Samuel thing. The next day, this brother, and you might know the sister because she's New York born and bred. You might know this sister. She's part of the conscious community for years here. This sister named Marilyn. Anybody ever seen this sister before? Her name is Marilyn. You'll know her because she's Marilyn Epps. You know, she calls herself the Lioness now. Now the brother is from Philadelphia. His name is Barsisi. Now check this out, because this all has something to do with ancestral energy. Barsisi's name is called Robert. His middle name is Samuel. The Bob and Juliet in Atlanta, Bob's whole name is Robert Samuel. Robert Samuel. Now, follow me on this. So I'm telling Bob and Juliet in Atlanta about Samuel, and the next day, this guy makes the transition, which is Barsisi's father. Barsisi's father, which is named Samuel Bracy. And what we found out with this, there's a connection with this guy and the Philadelphia Phillies winning, to show you how the earth thing happened. This Samuel is also known, put that on, as Osmodeus. Osmodeus. And what they said is this particular entity called Osmodeus, which is a several-headed deity, Osmodeus or Osmode. When this, so now put this brother picture back on. When he died, when this guy died, they said this was a great old one, an ancient figure, an ancient person from primordial times that had to return back to the spirit realm. The spirit realm. And his name is Samuel. And so what this is saying, that ancestrally, they got entities that have to return back. Now let me show you what I'm talking about here. Now check this out. Barack Obama's grandmother died the day before the election. Now anybody know when you get sick, you can hang on at least 2 or 3 days. She got the hell on because in order for a great thing to happen, there's also got to be a sacrifice. She could have hung on to a Wednesday, but it was a sacrifice. You see what I'm saying? So she knew when she got in and out of the spirit realm that there was a sacrifice had to happen. There's always a sacrifice. Just like there had to be a sacrifice with old big ass head O.J. Simpson. This stupid ass nigga here. That was a sacrifice. We stood up for you, and the last time we had some rejoicing in the streets was the O.J. trial, believe it or not. Black people lost their mind. Not because we loved O.J. Simpson, we had so many black people being sent up that was innocent for years. So it was a symbol, you understand, that we won one. And this fool was so damn crazy over the last couple of years, so they said, no, he had to be sacrificed. And you best believe they hate O.J. so much, that Negro will never see the light of day. But they got him on all 15 counts. Baby, he gone forever. But that was a sacrifice so that they could have the energy cleared up for Barack Obama to come through. See what I'm saying? 13 years. That was a sacrifice. You see what I'm saying? And it's ironic you put this up here because the same sister, now this is interesting here because the same sister, the same sister that we was talking about from New York, her father made the transition on October, I think he made a transition in 07. So what it is this, let me explain what's going on here. They got these entities in the voodoo stuff. We get ready to get into this voodoo thing. When you cross over to the spirit world, if you don't come right, they beat your behind. So what happened was a Charlton Heston ass, masquerading as Moses, crossed over and they beat his ass. And then they said that Isaac Hayes, so when you create something down here, you can create something down here. What you create it has to manifest in other worlds. So when Isaac Hayes went through, it was like, well, hell, you was Black Moses. We got a whole cadre of souls that's rising up now, and you got to lead them souls. You see what I'm saying? You got to lead those souls. So it's a whole lot of stuff that's going on, which leads us to this. Y'all all right? Yeah. All right. So let's lead us up to this. Now let's go into the science on what's going down, because ain't never enough time. But let me get with this stuff right now. Get down with that. And this is what is rising up right now. And let me tell you the science on what's going on this. This is Baron Sunday. Baron Sunday, Sunday means Saturday. Now let me explain what's going on with this. Baron Sunday, and I wanted to get the stove. Put this one on right quick. Huh? Yeah, take it off and put the other one up. We just do back and forth right quick. We'll do a little montage of different things. This is Baron Sunday. In June, the Egypto-Gnostic Jesus rose up and said, look, when you all reached back into Egypt and you dealt with Horus, you dealt with my early form. We had what is called Coptic Egyptians, which is called later-day Egyptians, or later-day Kemites. They concocted, or they made with the priests a modern version that would coincide with modern thought, modern civilization. And that modern version was the Gnostic Jesus that was later on stolen by the Romans and historicalized. But nevertheless, the Gnostic Jesus is the true Horus. So they were saying when we tried to do away with the whole Jesus thing, we didn't realize there was a real Jesus. With the name Jesus that came out of Coptic Egypt, which was a family that was made up of different Greek, Egyptian, and Coptic languages. You got to understand how this thing goes. They can look into the future and say, we need a new image of this Horus or Heru figure. The problem here is the Romans tried to usurp it for themselves and make it a historical person at a certain point, but it was talking about a person in the future. So they said, you must tell the people and read the Gnosticism, and that's why they killed off all the Gnostics. Did I spit on you, baby? Okay. I see you rubbing your face and shit. That's just what I know if you raise up with angel wings tonight, you know why. Now I want you to follow me on this. This Egypto-Gnostic Jesus, so what they do is they have to trace things around the world. Now we know that the word Osiris means the great westerner. We know that a lot of stuff they talk about the Son of Man rising in the west, in the east, and setting in the west. Now follow me on this. What do you see? Well, first of all, let me explain the skeletons, because a lot of people, everywhere you see people walking around with skulls and skeletons. Skulls and skeletons. Number one, the African symbology of the skull and the skeleton, if you demystify it from other cultures coming in and not understanding it, and even later day African cultures not understanding it. They forgot what their fathers and them put stuff down and stuff. After thousands of years, if you don't get, they say, what happens when the real iconology and the real stuff is lost? The first thing happens is the people that don't understand it, they all trumpet into the category of evil and don't deal with it no more. So the category of evil is to put all the stuff that you have lost the original meaning. Who talking about me?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to put me in the camera, son?
Yes.
Okay then, yeah, okay. Right, I was absentee. Now, so as a result, I'm just opening up all these bottles of water. That one was cold. Let me see. Now, so as a result, the skulls, what is a skull? A skull is none other than an ancestor that used to live, and the only thing left down on the physical earth that remind you of the ancestor is the skulls, because they are forever, and the bones. And what is inside of the bones? DNA. So it is the ultimate scientific and spiritual way to honor the dead. Okay? Now, what does this particular character that you see have around his neck? He has the cross. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now looking at the bona fide virgin of Jesus Christ. Now let me go into the story, because the Skull and Bones found out about this. They studied it for years, and they know about it. So let's go to Katrina. In Katrina, they never gave you the count of the dead bodies. To this day, we don't know it, but we can look on the TV and say there's a lot of people dead there. Right? But if you notice on all of the doors in Katrina, they wrote a symbol on there And the symbol that they wrote on there is this god, Baron Samedi. And they wrote this symbol on this particular entity, Baron Samedi. They wrote them on every door of every person that was dead. First of all, they blew up the levees because you know that Katrina, New Orleans weathered the storm. Just like it weathered the storm this time, it weathered the storm and they blew the levees. Because you know that. They wouldn't let certain people out if you were black, and if you were unmarried, you couldn't leave the city. And now we go to CynthiaMcKinney.com where they're saying they executed 100? How many was it? Anybody remember? 5,000 black bodies with gunshots in the head. This is Cynthia McKinney. Remember, she was the only one who spoke out against 9/11.
That's the website is Cynthia.
I think it's CynthiaMcKinney.com. It's on YouTube also. Just type in Cynthia McKinney. So what they did was they had all the law enforcement came down.
That's right.
And they had hunting season. And they had a group of black men with dreadlocks and gold teeth. You know what they did a documentary on these black guys with dreadlocks and gold teeth the year before Katrina. And I watched the documentary and my ass was scared of these brothers. They had gold teeth. They couldn't work. There wasn't no jobs for them. So what they would do is they would shoot each other up at night and drink all day and party all day. And they had a whole thing. And so when Katrina happened, they didn't let them out. They just slaughtered them. You see, so they had a whole hunt, but they had law enforcement people came from all over the country, and they went to Katrina and they just shot for sport. Meanwhile, everybody that was dead, they had a whole schoolhouse of people they chained up in the schoolhouse. They told them to go to the schoolhouse for shelter, and then when Katrina hit, they put chains on them, and all of them died. Well, they was doing some funky stuff, but it was straight up ritual for Baron Samedi. So they was killing all these bodies. So what happened was this. Let me give you this. Let me explain the ritual. The Skull and Bones is an organization out of Yale. They figured out, because they studied the lineage of the Horus Messianic aspect, they realized that the only new aspect of this particular entity, any entity you get, you can trace back to ancient Egypt, the ancient world. So all ones. And I don't care whether it's the Buddhists, all the stuff is traced back. The only new entity that came about was the Baron Samedi from Haiti and New Orleans. So as a result, they said, wait a minute, this must be a messianic energy. Got to look at this as energies, because they track energies. We don't want to look at this as, thing as an actual person coming to save you all and wade in the water or what have you, turn water to wine and all. You see what I'm saying, like that? They're talking about a messianic energy. So as a result, they said this particular deity is one of the newer deities, and this particular deity follows the path of the slave, because the top hat that he has on, they did that to commemorate Abraham Lincoln, that the slaves emancipated. But it also represents when this figure came to New Orleans, it represented a deity, and at the particular time of the concept of this Christ energy vision that they were seeing, the top hat was popular. So as a result, that's why I had to go through 7 top hats, and they changed each era. I had to go through the ones from the 20th century, the ones from the late 19th century, to the one that was actually the actual one. And this Baron Samedi is the one that kept me on this odyssey for 3 months, from July up until about 2 weeks ago, before the election, to get the original design that they would have like in the 1860s. So now, what you're looking at here is this. You can put the other one back up if you want to. Now, before you do that, what I'm saying, just go back 1 minute. Because I want to still do this on this skull thing.
That's the Star of David there?
Yeah, that's the Star of David, but that's also a pentagram. That's more of a pentagram. You know, the pentagram, which is upside down, represents Saturn. His name is Baron Samedi. And Samedi means Saturday, which is Saturn, the black planet. That's the Sabbath. So he's the Sabbatic god, the Sabbatic goat, Baron Samedi, Saturday, which means Sunday. Now, the interesting thing about him, he starts to rise. So what happened was, let me give you the story. They went down to New Orleans and they killed up all these bodies and they sacrificed these bodies to Baron Samedi. But although it's the skull and bones, they're trying to usurp some energy that they tapped into. You understand what I'm saying? What they didn't realize, because ancestrally this belonged to the slave. This is one of the only gods that we actually have that has something to do with slavery. And you didn't hear this shit? They actually, this is what, so as far as the skull and bones was concerned, you know, this the real deal, because this one is the one that has to do with the slaves. Remember now, Haiti, the Haitian Revolution was 1804. Alright? We didn't get out of slavery until 1865. And between 1804 and 1865, you see what I'm saying? In New Orleans, we took, when the Haitians migrated to New Orleans, some of them, we took the concept of Baron Samedi and fashioned it as a slave god in the Voodoo cults. Y'all hearing me on this? Now let me show you how far this goes based on the religion. We come to find out recently, a brother down in Atlanta told me that recently, we come to find out that when W.E.B. Du Bois wrote Souls for Black Folks, if you read in there, that they said every single church that survived slavery, that started up out of slavery, had some element of a voodoo ritual to it. All of them. Until the government came in, and I tell you the story about the church in South Carolina. They would come in, and you would have the different African traditions, and they would come in and go to something like a homeroom, which was an opening ceremony, and they would go through the opening ceremony, and then after the opening ceremony closed, if you was evil, you would go to one side of the church. If you was Dogon, you go whatever survived in this area. If you was Angola, if you was Congo, you would go and you would do your different ceremonies based on what survived through slavery. Now this was after slavery ended. And the South Carolina, this was down in the Sea Islands, this particular incident. And they came in, the government came in, and these white folks looked, built them a big Baptist church across the street, and that other church been abandoned ever since that time. So what happened was they started building these churches on every corner to counter the original voodoo element that was going on in these particular churches where they had brought this stuff together, and this person was the Christ energy that they was dealing with. So the skull and bones knew it and sacrificed all the damn bodies to this one, to this deity, and this damn fool woke up. So the skull and bones helped us do it, but guess what? Based on the spirit world, they say, well, we made the skull and bones do that. You said, oh man, that's horrible, to sacrifice the bodies. No, people die every damn day. You're going to die from something. Somebody need to take one for the home team. Because we need some relief. And if you understand that death is the beginning,
that's right.
We just had a few ancestors to go on vacation before we did.
That's right.
They chilling. By the hell, I think I showed you different dead people leading up to this with the brother Barcese's father. You understand where I'm coming from here? So they woke this fool up. He been on the days up until June. And then in June, and after I got back from London, in June, all hell broke loose because this baby here has been on the doggone scene. You see, and all of a sudden now, You see, he is responsible for all the scars you see. So we always looking at stuff negative. Look, anytime a black person down in Atlanta, Georgia, with gold teeth walking around with skulls, and it's a phenomenon everywhere, and it's an actual black guy that invented the concept. You see, so it wasn't no Illuminati. The concept was, when I went to Cleveland, they had the black guy name and everything. Just like Voodoo and all the rest of that shit. They came with the skulls. But come to find out, Baron Samedi, after Katrina, Baron Samedi's frequency is the one that inspired them to do the skull stuff all over the place. And what does this mean when you see the skulls? They say that the ancestors have risen. This is the rise of the ancestors. You see what I'm saying? Now, Baron Samedi, which is Saturday, has a wife named Brigitte, and she is most powerful. She is most powerful. You see, she's a beautiful maiden. They don't show her as no beautiful maiden. They show her as somebody get up in your ass. You know, some Harriet Tubman figure. Now it's ironic because this same entity is worshipped by millions of witches around the world, as the Brigitte is the same European Brigitte. It comes from originally from Ireland. See what I'm saying? It comes originally from Ireland. And you pull that up and see her baby at the bottom. That's her baby. No, that's her baby. You can get this baby and a picture of her in a book called Voodoo Visions by Sally Ann Glassman. Voodoo Visions by Sally Ann Glassman, or you can also get the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot deck. And he is the god of the cemetery. So all of your ancestors is connected with this Baron Samedi. He is the one that sat over the Gede, and the Gede is called the dead. The Gede is called the dead. And he sits over the Gede. Show her baby one more time. That's her symbol. And she sits over the dead. You see, which is also a heart. And this is the graveyard. And her name is Brigitte. Now, they come together. They come together. Now, to show you, put this up as Exhibit A. Isaac Hayes' first album, he's wearing the top hat. He's wearing the top hat. So it's amazing, when this 888 rose, he was the first to go. This is his first album. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Another Baron is Duke Ellington. All of the barons wear the top hat. I got some of these to say. They got the top hat. He's got the piano keys up on it. Real powerful stuff. The greatest composer ever to ever live in American standard, in American music, jazz. Okay, now check this out. All right, this is another picture of Baron Samedi. Show you where this is going. You know that they say Run DMC? I think the Panic was the one that said that Jam Master Jay came to him and said, because the modern version of the top hat became the gangster hat. And so when you see the Run DMC where they had on those particular hats, at first he was wearing it, and those were the barons. The barons. The Baron Cemetery. It's a bunch of barons. Okay, so Baron Samedi is also portrayed. If you want to see, you want to get two movies. You want to get the movie Sugar Hill, not the one from 1994 with Wesley Snipes, but the one from 1974. And the Baron Samedi and this woman's boyfriend is killed, and she goes to her grandmother who was in Voodoo, who was played by Mama Jefferson, and they rise up Baron Samedi and kill off all the conspirators who killed her boyfriend. But a year before that movie, Baron Samedi is right there on Live and Let Die. That's Baron Samedi, which is played by Jeffrey Holder. Put him on there. You can take that off. Just put him on there. No, take that off. Take that off and put the whole thing. Jeffrey Holder asked, Baron Samedi. See? Looking like Jay-Z, ain't that some shit? Look at that. That's Jay-Z. That shit looks like Jay-Z. Now, let me explain this. Flavor Flav used to wear the top hat. Come to find out, they say the Flavor Flav was wearing the top hat even before he joined Public Enemy. He's always been that kind of character. So he wears the top hat and he does the Strange World or Strange Love. Then he does Flavor of Love and he has the top hat. But in Strange Love, what was his woman name? Brigitte. And what did he used to call her? My little gay day. The gay day, the dead. I'm my little guitar or my little gay day. Alright? Then that led to Flavor of Love. And as a result, he transformed the whole network. Nobody wasn't even watching it no more. Until then they knew that the Flavor, they start putting on all these black shows. Run DMC got a show, Salt and Pepper, and all these, and then several shows to spin off from Flavor of Love. And although he was the clown, that's the Joker. Because when Baron Samedi rolls up, the Batman Joker thing went down with Heath Ledger. Now the interesting part about that is, that energy was able to transform a whole network. Now you got T-Pain, this rapper, wearing the top hat. These people wear these things, you see what I'm saying? They might not even be privy to the science, but there's something in the DNA. Yeah. Right when this whole thing comes down with Baron Samedi, T-Pain is wearing wearing the top hat. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm gonna get into one other thing. Now what we could do is, what time is it? 8? Huh? 5 to 8, okay, good. Okay, hold on. Now, let me see right now, I'm gonna cut the lights back on. I'm gonna cut the lights back on. And we can get into a few other things. Cut the lights back on. You can cut that off. Now cut the lights back on, yeah. Now. The top one, in the back. Got the lights, what, it's messing up? Huh? There you go. There you go. Look. There you go, okay. All right, now. Let's go into some stuff right quick. Let me get my notes. Y'all all right? Yeah, we good. Okay. Let me get this one last thing I want to talk about, and that is this. I want to talk about it. That is this. You didn't bring that dictionary, did you?
Yeah.
Bring it here. Yeah. Oh, you gotta pay the water bill or something?
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Bobby, I'm gonna change the tape.
In October, the 1st of October, there was a guy that came from India, and he was a guy of some type of one of these Voodoo cults in India. And he said that he came over because of a prophecy. They had a prophecy that one would come from India to the black people in America and give them this particular information. And this particular information was supposed to be, let me see if I can find this thing. This information was supposed to give them was about a god called Kalki. Let's see if you want to spell that. K Kalki. I want you to write that down and go to the internet. So they had a group, they had a guy that they sent from some type of Hindu ashram, a Hindu club, a Hindu mystery system or something over in India. That's real big with the Agnihotra or something. And they sent this particular guy to India to give a message to black people in America. And he came over on October the 11th, 10/11.
Is it Dalai Lama?
No, this was another type of priest over. Dalai Lama is more Buddhic. This was more Hindu. And he talks about the god Kalki. Now write that down and go to the internet and type in Kalki, the next avatar of God, and the end of the Kali Yuga. The next avatar of God and the end of the Kali Yuga. So he sent this particular information. Kalki is the last incarnation of Vishnu. Last incarnation of Vishnu. So I heard that you call Vishnu, so this should be some other importance to you. You want to type in and get this particular information. Apparently, the East Indians are saying that based on the text of the book of Revelation, I'm going to write this down for you. For all you people that is well versed in Christian mythology, I want you to get a very important book. This just came to me. Apparently, the Theosophical Society for the last 70 years had been involved in deciphering the book of Revelation, not from the Christian standpoint, but from its original alchemical origin. Before it was a Christian text, it was an alchemical text, because you know they have a Persian apocalypse that's damn near identical. It's in the book, J.R. Berlin's book, Parallel Myths. And it's a shameful ripoff. So it's called Parallel Myths by J.R. Berlin. Don't ask me how to spell Berlin. You all have to do is type in the Parallel Myths. But in the parallel mythology and parallel myths, you will see the Persian apocalypse, which is older than the apocalypse that later on became in the book of in the Bible. But the Persian apocalypse is almost identical. And the Persian apocalypse is some material that came out of Egypt when Cambyses invaded Egypt. So the Theosophical Society has been at work for 70 years or more, translating the esoteric version of the book of Revelation based on the chakras, the stones, the philosopher's stone, and all of this stuff. So this is a book that you must get called The Revelation of St. John by Zachary, Z-A-C-H-A-R-Y, F period, Lansdowne, L-A-N-S-D-O-W-N-E. Zachary F. Lansdowne. Or Lansdowne. I don't know if the E is silent. I don't know that, but you'll find out. L-A-N-S-D-O-W-N-E. You want to get this book? This book is profound. Because they can go through chapters in this particular book and show you where it's talking about.
What's it called?
It's called The Revelations of St. John by Zachary F. Lansdowne. And I implore you to get this book, because they have done the work on this stuff where they have broke down this Kundalini, the chakras, the third eye, all of this stuff right there in the book of Revelation text. Now, I don't know too many people out here that ain't familiar with the Bible. You might say, what the hell, what you practice, but everybody, so my point is, when you're familiar with something, then that means that you don't have to go and familiarize yourself with some other culture stuff. You see what I'm saying? But if you can somehow make the esoteric part of what that means, and you really have made a true link. So everybody can deal with this, and it has the biblical part, and then it has the esoteric part. It is out of this world. You need to get a hold of that book. Now, the guy that came from India to give this particular information, that came to America on the 11th, to give this particular information, you say, well, I didn't hear about it. Well, he came to the ghetto, so CNN ain't going to report that. All right? Well, I'm just telling you. But, but anyway, because they had a prophecy, a 1,000-year prophecy, that one day they will come to the West and give this to a downtrodden people. See what I'm saying? Well, you downtrodden because the Mexicans has outdone you. Let me tell you something. Y'all might make fun of them Mexicans and laugh all the fuck you want about the jobs they take. They got malls down in Georgia with marble. And they got businesses, commercial businesses. They got malls and strip malls and stuff to marvel at. They have come up. You talk all that shit you want. You talk all that shit you want. The Mexicans have come up. You've been here for 400 years, and you go in your little stores. Why we always out of shit? And the shelves are always empty. You go in your stores and stuff like that, the shelves empty. I went into a black establishment the other day, a month ago, and ordered 4 short thighs, 4 thighs, and the woman charged 4 pieces of chicken. The woman charged me $16. I said, damn, I can go to Kentucky Fried Chicken and get 2 damn buckets for this price. Why we so high? So don't let nobody fool you. We downtrodden because you didn't look at them Mexicans. Them Mexicans is employed. You understand what I'm saying? Now, look at this. So, Kalki is the 10th and final avatar of Vishnu. Now remember, these people came on the level from India to give this to us. Because they had a prophecy that one day they would come to the West to give us this stuff about Kalki, the 10th and final avatar of Vishnu. His mother, well, I want to get into all that. Let's see. Upon his return, he will appear on a giant white horse. Now, based on this internet article, the Hindus say that the white horse can be found in the book of Revelations. The white horse can be found in the book of Revelation. Well, we're going to go to the esoteric part on what that really is talking about too. Well, when the white horse coming? Okay, so he will appear on a white horse, and they say, or he will be a giant man with a horse's head, wielding a flaming sword, astride a white horse, riding through the sky. His purpose will be to end evil and wickedness in the world. His appearance will take place at the end of our age, which is known as the Iron Age. When he arrives, the wicked will be destroyed, and the world will be created anew and into advancement. The day of Kalki's arrival is called the day of Advancement, whatever that is. The day of Kalki's arrival is also called, the Pralaya. The Pralaya is the day of his arrival. On this day, Shiva will dance the distinguished dance on the disintegrated world, and Vishnu will sleep so that a new world will be born anew. But they also tell you to, if you want to know more about him, you go to the Lord Maitreya in the Buddhist thing, the same entity in the Buddhist thing. Now you want to get this book, because this is the greatest book that is written on things to this day. This is the one that's unmatched. You don't have this in your house. Shame on you. If you've heard me talk about this shit before. The Dictionary of Ancient Deities is the only one that won't let your ass down. Charles Russell Coulter and Patricia Turner. This is the book that He died on this guy, Charles Russell Culture, and they tried to put every god known to man. They left out Apollo because he just didn't know enough about it. But everything else is up in here. From Catholicism to Voodoo. This is the one, the Dictionary of Ancient Deities. This is a must-have. You can't study no serious stuff if you don't know this one. So the point is, the Lord Betrayer is also this particular deity. What's that?
Madrid, is that the character that's supposed to be appearing next year? They're going to introduce.
Well, first of all, let me break this down off the spookism. Let me break this down off the spookism realm. In mythology, in the esoteric aspect, the white horse is nothing but the pineal gland. That's what it is. If you notice, if you look at Pegasus with the wings, you see two wings and you see the head of the horse. Well, the two wings is also the staff and the caduceus in the medical association of the staff of Tahuti. Well, if you put the head in the middle, that's the white horse in the book of Revelation. And that is nothing but the pineal gland. So you get a gist of what this stuff is talking about. You see what I'm saying? Now that Baron Samedi, that skeleton head also represents the white head. You see what I'm saying? Which is also represents the pineal gland. You see what I'm saying? Now if you look real close on that other Baron, one of the ones, the human form of Baron Samedi, he's holding a cane with a skull on it and two serpents. The skull represents the pineal gland. What's that?
What about what's in the center of his chest? Because in the movie 10,000 BC, the focus has that on a staff.
On a staff. Well, that's the rib cage. It represents. The rib cage just represents the ancestral. It represents the skeleton. It represents the ancestor realm. So he's both. It's showing two poles of the spiritual realm and the ancestral realm and stuff. And that's what that's dealing with. So this particular avatar. Well, they talk about announce because it says to also destroy the pollution from the world. Well, the pollution in the world is nothing. If you take it to the body, you got to take all this stuff off the physical realm and take it to the body. The physical body, the solution in the world is called samskar, and samskar is supposed to be this particular stuff in your body. You see what I'm saying? That is supposed to be the toxins and the solution of pollution. So the story is when he comes back with the white horse. All it is the kundalini raising up to the pineal gland, which purifies the body and destroys the pollution from the world. Well, that's already happening. Why they stopped dropping the chemtrails? Because now Shiva drinks the world poison, and what did I say? The poison now is being converted into fuel. You see what I'm saying? So all this, but I want you to get this off the internet. This piece is Kalki, the next avatar of God, and the end of the Kali Yuga. You need to get this off the internet. And stuff. This is off the internet, and then read what they really painstakingly go through the book of Revelations and show you this whole Kalki character. So all of these things are coming together, and the Barack Obama only represents. Well, let's put it this way. There was a book written by a Necronomicon book written in 1980, and they had made, based on these conferences, they say that the revelation that we're looking for will never really happen in the physical realm, because the physical realm cannot display or cannot manifest something from a spirit realm, because this is an illusion. So in so many words, they say that the apocalypse that you're talking about is an inner apocalypse. So in so many words, we have several messianic figures. Do you know Napoleon was a messianic figure? What did Napoleon do? Napoleon went up into Egypt and unlocked the mysteries. Thus, we study Kemetic today. Egypt was lost, and the Arabs sat on it for 2,000 years until Napoleon came. So, based on a book by Dr. John White, no, what's the name of this guy? His name is John White. The Messiahs of the Dead Sea Scrolls. That Messiah means several people. You see, that would come and make change. You see what I'm saying? So as far as Barack Obama is concerned, it's just one of several messiahs that come to the world, and these are the people that the only type of thing that you get that's close to a Jesus thing, based on inspiration. But the real Christ energy of that is inside of you, the inner worlds. You see, it's inside of you. So he is only a symbol of something that is rising inside of you. You see what I'm saying? It's rising inside of you. Let's go to a question and answer right quick, because we never have enough chance to deal with that. Let's go to a question and answer. Anybody have a question right quick? Also, they say that the skeleton will rise in the end of days. The skeleton is also represented as Baron Samedi, which is Saturn. Saturn Chronos, time. Saturn will return. You see what I'm saying? Even when you look at December 25th, that's in Capricorn. What's that?
I just want to ask, that symbol on your hat looks like Pan. Is that connected to Baron Samedi?
Yeah, because Baron Samedi is Saturday. And Saturday is named after Saturn. It's named after Sat or Set. Pre-dynastic Set, prior to Osirian drama. That's a later version. So Baron Samedi is Saturday, which means Sat. And Saturn governs what? Capricorn. And Capricorn is the goat, the Sabbatic goat. Sabbath, Saturday, goat. Sabbatic goat. And so this goat god Pan is an earlier nature form of the Baron Samedi. I see you wore yours, and this is what I did with mine. He has one of the medallions on with the same thing, and so that's why I put this on there based on it's that Pan figure, which you see what I'm saying, which represents Saturn, Okay, now this is interesting here because he got a transmission. The brother Panic got a transmission on Halloween that said that he's an ancient form of Pansika. And Pansika is a deity that they worship over in Tibet that has an army. How many armies? He's over legions. Legions of things. And Pansika, his name is Panic, that he's been called since he was a little boy. But if you take it and turn it around, Pansika, change the letter, it represents Panic. So what this stuff is talking about here is the rise that's happening in the human realm, right on the realm of the humans. You see what I'm saying? Right on the realm of the humans. So let's give me some questions right quick.
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
Peace to you.
Yeah.
You said you spoke about the Kundalini.
Yeah.
Now you said it's feminine in nature, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So when it rises in a man, which is a masculine vehicle,
Yeah.
how is that feminine?
That's a great question. It's one of the questions that need to be answered. I'm glad you said that. And that is this. In the celestial realm, we used to be both halves of the whole, masculine and feminine, but it was split. And basically what you admire in a female is a part of the half that you're trying to get back. You see what I'm saying? You see, or if you're a person that what gay people are doing is actually longing for a half that they're trying to get back. But ultimately, when this Kundalini rises, it brings the two halves to half back. That is the feminine part that was dormant. So if it rises in a man, that's the version of your feminine half. If it rises in a woman, it illuminates the masculine half. And so that's if you look at the Kabbalah, you got Chakma or Bina, and both of those is male and female, and when they come together, you got Kemetic. So it's the holy union. Isis, Osiris, Horus. But those polarities have to come back together. It's just that it's a feminine energy. This is interesting here because in another Hindu thing, they talk about a horse that's the submarine mare that's up under the ocean. A white horse is up under the ocean. The ocean also represents the root chakra. And when it rises up, when it rises out of the ocean and stuff, it's called Kundalini and the pineal. So it's just interesting that same white horse type thing. But what happened with us is, and that's what's happening, that's a great thing, because that is one of the most important things of what's happening to us when this DNA is rising, is the masculine and the feminine are coming back together. Now, let me explain something even with this whole thing based on the California and this marriage thing. What the spirit realm says is this. If you only want to focus on being gay, you totally miss the point that you have both sides in you anyway. And your connection of down here in the physical is always trying to look at a masculine object outside of yourself. So on the mundane level, people that deal with the whole gay thing, they're focused on looking at something outside of themselves. And they miss the point that ultimately what's going on spiritually is we have these components in all of us anyway. You see? But on the mundane thing, we always look at things based on sex. You see what I'm saying? And the desire is going outward instead of focusing on the feminine half inward. You see what I'm saying? You see? So basically, when you see all of this particular gay stuff that's actually going on, it's a form of humanity trying to get back to its original state. But that's to get back to the original state inwardly. You see what I'm saying? Not outwardly. That's the corrupted form of it. Because if that becomes a utopian society outwardly, you would never reach the benefits of knowing what it's talking about inwardly. You see? So that's somewhat lacking and stuff. We both dual nature and all, yeah. As a matter of fact, there was an East Indian group. This had nothing to do with homosexuality. What they would do is cross-dress to get some type of simulation of a feminine side. It was a masculine group, and then they would go into altered states of consciousness. It had nothing to do with homosexuality. It had something to do with unleashing a side of them that they weren't used to. And that itself was a messianic experience. Give me some questions right quick. What's that, brother? Yeah.
The pictures that you have, where do you hang them in your household?
Wherever you want, wherever your spirit say hang them. See, what we're doing here is we're getting out of the realm of practitioning. See, practitioning means that you were ignorant and you needed a God to lord over you. Now we are becoming partners with the deities. You see what I'm saying? So they're your homies. So the whole key is to throw off the practitioner, and that was when we had to, number one, preserve certain traditions so that they could survive on the earth until a new age comes. And because we didn't have a certain amount of knowledge and energy, a certain amount of knowledge, then we would go into these traditions and become the subjects of the gods. You see, but now, you see what I'm saying? You do what you want with it, and therefore that's your welcoming you back into your godhood state, other than you following somebody. So, I give them what I want. You see what I'm saying? And so my spirit tells me what I want to do with these particular images, and as a matter of fact, that's how you really activate it. When you get out of the tradition and do it your way, then in so many words you activate it, because that's the new way to do things. Give me some questions. Oh, this brother had his hand. Yeah.
Yes. I'd like to know what is the symbology or the significance of black males in particular, walking around with their pants below their waistline. Sometimes I would think, I came to one conclusion, I said maybe gravity has a greater pull on them than it does maybe me or my generation. What is the significance? Why do they do that?
Well, basically, we know the history of that. As the influx of blacks from the mid-90s started growing in prison, and you couldn't have belts in prison, and then they would be released, and so they would spend 3-4 years without a belt. When they would come out of prison, they would be used to not wearing a belt, The people on the street saw it and it became a doggone fashion. Some things are not spiritual, it's just based on a fad. You see what I'm saying? It's just based on a fad. You see what I'm saying? I mean, don't burn up no energy trying to read every damn crazy shit we do. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Oh, one thing you told about that, a Hindu person, years ago, Mahatma Gandhi, his politics aside, he was asked, what is the significance of the black or the Negro in America, and his answer was to bring order and balance back to the planet.
Yeah, well, my point here is that they have these certain prophecies within the Hindu element. Remember now that they got more black people in India than damn near any place on the planet. You see what I'm saying? You just talking about a caste system where they only show you. And I'm a witness of that. I saw that in England when I went over there and it was Harlem. It's amazing how the illusion of perception. You see what I'm saying? I mean, literally, man, you know. And they can show, you know, so my point here is, but the most of the continent is a dark continent, a Kushite continent. You see what I'm saying? So this ain't nothing but connecting back to, you see what I'm saying, back to some ancestral stuff, you see. He knew it, ultimately, but you know, like I said, politics aside, he, you know, with dealing with the caste system, he couldn't do too much about it. So he chose to be, he had his moments of racism in South Africa. You see what I'm saying? And but nevertheless, as he gravitated more to the spiritual stuff, he bared witness to it. The brother he had, there you go, okay.
Peace. I want to ask you a question when you were talking about the atom smasher and nanotechnology. When they activated that was recently, right? At least a month or so. Yeah, they activated one part on the 7th of October.
Of August, but then in October, the one they activated again, that's when they told the people, so there's several stages. I believe that the whole thing about it breaking down, I think that was a hoax too. I think that was to keep, I think they figured out that the general public, they announced it, but the general public should never really be in on what they're really doing. Okay, well go ahead.
I work in the technology field, and it's funny how you tied those together because they gave us a warning on most of the major IT people that we had to stay on set in August and in October.
Right.
The way you tied that together,
August and October,
made a lot of sense because most of the IT people that deal with, especially like Unix, not just Windows, but Unix, we saw a change, but we could not report it.
Okay, there you go.
So it's interesting how you said that.
Yeah.
I actually saw a change.
Right.
But I can't report it.
Yeah.
So
well,
very interesting how you put that.
Oh, you can't report it? I mean...
No, I can't report it. I can't report it to my bosses.
To your boss? Okay, okay.
To everybody else.
You just outed yourself.
It doesn't matter. Of that business is not it.
Right.
But it's interesting how you tie it
together. Yeah. Somebody had her hand up. Then you, brother. Go ahead.
Can you shed some light on the Jennifer Hudson family killings?
Well, at first I tried to be open and tried to get a certain amount of things, but I just knew one thing. We have some of that stuff go down in Atlanta every damn 2-3 months. Somebody kill everybody because everybody home. Like what's your process? Why you kill everybody in the house? They was all home. But ironically, what we got from the spirit realm, wasn't it interesting how close it happened to the election? So some of this stuff, it didn't work, but some of this stuff was for distraction. You see what I'm saying? And this is how you know it's a distraction. Anytime the child gets killed, that's a master stroke when it comes to distracting America. Period. Just kill a child. You see what I'm saying? Any political thing you want to do, you just kill a child. You see, and that's a master part. You see, it's interesting here because I to give you stuff across about perception. Over in London, they are celebrating Barack Obama. But they're celebrating Barack Obama for another reason. They're celebrating Barack Obama in London because there's a black guy by the name of Lewis Hamilton that won the Formula One race thing. And they've never had that before. And it's around the same election time, this guy won the Formula One race. This guy named Lewis Hamilton, a black man. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the reasons why they are celebrating this this aspect of this aspect. Now this is interesting here because they got a chapel over in I think it's in Scotland. And this chapel in Scotland is one of these cathedrals, and it has American corn, it has American cactus, and it has all these American vegetables and herbs that's only grown in America. But this chapel was erected 40 years before what's the one? 40 years before 1492 in Scotland. So who could have come to America to come back and to erect a cathedral in Scotland that's dealing with American vegetables and the Native American corn 40 years before 1492? But the Moors. And why is it that they tell you that the orange was introduced in Europe by the Moors? But where did they get the orange from? They say they got some smaller oranges grown in Asia. But I do believe that the orange that they showed on this documentary was an American orange. You see what I'm saying? Thus proving that, you know, we've been around the world. But they even said the Chinese discovered America before Columbus. You see what I'm saying? They got Ming Dynasty vases that they found in the river in Tennessee. You see what I'm saying? So, the illusion of perception. Well, what's that, brother?
Yeah. Suppose a conscious person to an unconscious person under the influence of alcohol. Can a person control the reptilian part of them?
Huh?
Can a person control the reptilian side of them under the influence of alcohol?
That's a very unique question because it has something to do with my experiments. I drink. First of all, they tell you that anything you do at an early age is more than likely you get addicted. The earlier you start. They know this by prostitutes. The ones that were raped when they were 12 and 13, you see what I'm saying? They become addicted, even with nymphomania. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't start drinking until 2000, August of 2000. Now this is interesting here. And I drank from August. The only reason why I drank from August 2000 is not because I never drank none of my 30s, none of my 20s. So it was surely for spiritual reasons.
So it's always the intent.
Now, so I was pouring libations and giving them all this miles from all these deities. So in August they came through and said, "Hey man, why don't you get down with us? You say you the God and you pouring us this stuff." So I drank that miles rum and got under the music and went to another level. But let me tell you the deal. Now this is great you said that. I drank from August of 2000 to September 2008 every night non-stop and didn't get hooked one bit. And the only reason why I quit, not for health reasons, in January I stopped getting high off the damn shit. And to make a buzz, I had to cut it with some malt liquor just to get a buzz. So what had happened was, as my kundalini rose and you started getting high on a certain level, you see what I'm saying, on a spiritual level, that type of high, it no longer, it exceeded the high, my own energy, my own spirit. So I had to give it up because hell, I was emptying out a gallon every 2-3 days, but I was drinking it like Kool-Aid and wasn't getting high. And I said, it's time to quit because this shit ain't doing nothing. This real is gone. But let me tell you what happened though. Now let me tell you the science on it, why it was all only for spiritual purposes. I never drank during the day, and I would drink about 2 or 3 at night in the dark under music. From August of 2000 up until September 2008. I never drank outside of music. I would get up in the morning, take 2 shots, put on the headphones, and I got 5,000 albums. You see what I'm saying? And it was always the music. And I ain't talking about, I got the funk from the 70s, but I got shit from the 20s and the 30s. You see what I'm saying? The 20s and the 30s. And then this is the other thing too, which I thought was sad. There was a whole lot of white music that was great in the 70s. And we hear it on the radio, but we don't know the name of it. You see, but I was allowed to get dollar albums down there and stuff and experience that. So to mix it up, you know what I'm saying, to mix it up, then getting into some popular Led Zeppelin and some damn AC/DC with Thunderstruck. That's fucking Obama, God of Lightning. You see what I'm saying? So my point is, you gotta mix all that stuff up. So I had a whole cadre of stuff. You see what I'm saying? So you just can't be in one genre and stuff. You see what I'm saying? They got some amazing stuff, but you hear it on the radio, but you don't know the name because music during that era was segregated. So I'm quite sure white people say, I know that song, but I love that song, but I don't know the name of it. Based on segregation. You see what I'm saying? You know, and stuff. So, but you know the popular stuff. But my point here was, I got into all this music, but I never drank outside of it. And I would go to no other dimension. So what happened was, I never developed an addiction. This is interesting here too. It's interesting. Then I realized when people get addicted. We used to party to music when you in your early teens. You used to party based on social life. And then you become drunks and stuff when you get out of the party life. You understand what I'm saying? And you start drinking on occasion outside of the music and outside of what you start. Then all of a sudden you become alcoholics and stuff. But on one hand, I'm dealing with this on a spiritual level. You drink spiritually, then it goes to a whole nother level than you drinking socially. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, I used to do it under music, and it was a whole initiation, and never got high. I mean, never got well, I got zooted, but I never got addicted. But most of my thing with that was altered states of consciousness. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, how can you can you use any substitute besides the alcohol, besides the mushrooms or anything to reach that realm?
Yeah, there's let me see what is a good some good food can do it. You see what I'm saying? Sex tantrum. There's several things that can reach that state. That can reach that state. I tell you what I did myself. I did it with water. This was this is in the 90s. I drank 5 gallons of water, or 3 gallons of water a day for 5 days. And on the 5th day I time traveled because I loosened up something. And then after that I could take a tall glass of water. For 2 or 3 years I could take a tall glass of water and drink it down and get just as high. Because I was, whatever I had unleashed, whatever subatomic particles I unleashed was getting me just as on the altered states of consciousness. So there's several ways to do it. There's several ways to do it, and you know. But like I said, it's okay to do it with alcohol if you're doing it spiritually. You see what I'm saying? On that level, yeah.
In other words, getting back to the skull and the skull and bone, a black man
is the guy who came up with that concept of where you got all these people wearing that. Then it became popular. Now Walmart is selling this stuff. Yeah.
Okay. The symbology of that, like I said, perception is.
Well, I'm trying to give you the knowledge. I don't give a damn what the ignorant motherfucker out here saying.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that you said that they are coming back.
No, what it is what's happening here is this. Whenever you see certain things that's happening, it's not in a vacuum. It is actually spiritual things that's happening. So these youth wearing all these skulls represent the return of the ancestors. You see what I'm saying? Because the skulls were symbolic of the ancestors in the ancient world. You see what I'm saying? So when you're seeing that, that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the skulls being symbolic of the ancestors. And they're coming back as far as the rise. Now it's also rising through us. You see. It's also rising through us. You see.
Okay, well see with me, it's positive and negative.
Ain't no negative, man. That's negative is only your perception. Believe me, brother, I done went through everything. You looking at the nigga that did everything on the earth. And I'm mad because I can't find nothing that was traumatic. Hell, if I had that, maybe I could be second, you know. That's religion, man. All that old shit is religion. That's training, positive and negative and all that stuff. It's your will. You see what I'm saying? I can get in a car and I can use it to transport myself somewhere, but I can get in the car and use it to run over people. So all that stuff there is based on, you know, all that, you got to get out of that spookism stuff, or something going to happen to be positive. You just watch a little bit of monster movies when you were young, so when you look at that skeleton and stuff, it translates the paradigm of what you've been used to for years. But I'm just trying to say, if nobody ever told you, if somebody told you in another culture that was divine, then you'll be looking at that as divinity. You see what I'm saying? Hollywood is what's messed up most of the people. What's that, brother?
The ritual you gave me one of your DVDs about the healing hand.
Yeah.
Is that something that, because it sounded like some of the preachers learned it
no. What's happening with the preachers is they were put, like, they got this black guy on BET. Go, God! God! And he got a red healing cloth. What's the, anybody know the name of that healing cloth? He calls it. It's a red healing cloth, and so he's selling thousands of these things, and the shit is working. It ain't working because of Jesus. It's working because the people, if you believe hard enough, you tap into that part that heals anyway. So even when they go to them and he put their hand on them, they just believe to a certain point, so they use their own body's energies. You see what I'm saying? On that particular level. But the stuff I was talking about with the healing, that's a whole other methodology where I'm using my aura and I'm using the Kundalini energy to touch somebody and heal them on that level. That's a whole other thing. But as far as what them people doing out there, they're doing it haphazardly, but it's working because the people believe so much.
They simulate, they try to simulate what the ritual, or they try to simulate.
No, they ain't simulating shit. It's a get-over game. They ain't doing shit. There ain't no science in it. They just found something that worked, that the people are healing their own self through what they believe. You see what I'm saying? They ain't doing nothing. You see what I'm saying? On that level, I'm talking about a spiritual thing, and basically, it originally came from some spirit laying on hands, but they don't have nothing to do with that. They just benefiting from people's belief. What's that, brother? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I know somebody was traveling down south about a year ago, and they know this Charlotte, North Carolina, is near right? Charlotte is on the move. And what the point what I was going to say is that Atlanta, Georgia, I understand Atlanta will be the fastest city in the south. Atlanta is built on crystals.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. That whole area is a big stone. That stone mountain that Confederates put their thing on. Mm-hmm. Now, based on the Rosicrucians, that the capstone granite of the Great Pyramid, the stone can only be found one place in the world, Stone Mountain, Georgia.
I know if you look at what you call the Bermuda Triangle,
yeah,
each point represents something. One point represents like the North and South Carolina, that area.
All of that area. As a matter of fact, Atlanta's history said that it used to be up underwater. You see what I'm saying?
And also, I was watching listening to WABC talk show late at night. Because I be speaking to spirit, just wake me up and listen to them.
Yeah.
Once every night they listen to good. But they have an island outside Taiwan. A plane just went into another dimension. And they said that they hush it up, on the news.
You know, Elijah Muhammad talked about that island in his teachings years ago. He used to talk about that island. Elijah Muhammad used to talk about it.
What's the name?
I don't know, but ironically, look at this. When Jimi Hendrix, the Arlene brothers, the two twins that knew him in New York. Yeah. The last time they heard him before he died, he told them he was going to that island. They say, where you going, man? And he mentioned whatever that island is called, off the coast of Japan. Before he died, before he made the transition. He's straight up God now. You can get a Jimi Hendrix picture. I should have brought some.
That's right.
And tap into that energy, and you could also get what you want, because he's a straight up powerful muse right now. And you listen to his music, into that stuff, Bob Marley, into that type of stuff. Jim Morrison, and that damn that girl straight up a muse too.
Janis Joplin.
Janis Joplin ass. Janis Joplin.
Yeah, she's funky.
Oh yeah, she tapped. Yeah, Janis Joplin was a soul diva.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? You see, sometimes you got to go with what your spirit say.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just evident and stuff. You see. Yeah. The brother back here had his hand in you. What's that, brother?
I wanted to find out if Obama is led to attack another country of melanin descent. How is that fit into the process?
What it does. I said that Obama has nothing to do with him being spiritual, anything. It is only a sign of your spirituality rising. He got to do the job, whatever type thing. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, like I said, the concept here is you're not looking at a political candidate as somebody that's going to change this mess. He's only a symbol. You must ask yourself, well, if this happened, what is happening inside of me? Because something changed on the outside that normally doesn't change, and that means it has to be something changing on the inside of me. That's all he represents. Is your rise, but not on the political level. You know what I'm saying? And when you sit in that seat, hell, like I said, he might tell you damn affirmative action. You never know just how a piece of person feel that day, or what his boss might call down and tell him to do. But that's not the point, though. That's what I'm trying to get people to say. We so stuck on the mundane level until we can't see things for what it is. You see, I'm trying to tell you to track your spiritual progress based on the change that you have seen in the physical world. But as far as getting into the politics of Obama, he's liable to do anything like anything else. You see, so that's not the goal here. The goal here is to show you've had a spiritual sign. And that's anybody on the planet. You see what I'm saying? And what is your agenda? What are you doing spiritual? Don't look for Obama to give you nothing. You already got everything. Come on. We just mad because we just don't have it to the degree of the ruling class. But our fucking houses is full of shit. Endless amounts of materialism. Everybody got 2 or 3. I got 5 DVD players. You see what I'm saying? And I gotta use all 5 just to play them lousy shits. Because all of them don't play in the same. This is fucked up technology compared to the video. But it's clear. You see, when it works. Yeah, what's that?
One question I asked you. Why the word nigga is so prominent, and why a lot of neoconservatives and liberals trying to stop the word?
Carl Jung wrote a book called The Mistrum Conundrum, or something, Conundrum. And in there they had several words that he used in these particular books that's now been taken out of the lexicon. So there was hundreds of words that's been taken out since the early 1900s. From the early 1900s to 1950, they would just basically retire tons of words. So they got words in the ancient text was talking about the Niger, the Negro, the Negrus, Negrum, Negrus. And all of this stuff was talking about melanin, it was talking about dark matter, it was talking about chaos, and it was talking about several things. So they know based on these particular words that those things end up being mantras. So therefore they want you to stop saying them. You see what I'm saying? When they get out of hand and white folks is calling each other niggas. The meaning means something different than 1930s. Right. Yeah. So there's several words, if there were several words that they used to retire, and they got tons of these words, this Negrus, Negra, Negrum, which is this ultimate dark matter. All in Carl Jung's books, because he used a lot of terminology of stuff that hadn't been defunct in Germany. You see what I'm saying? And they retired all this stuff by the 1950s. So you can see a lot of this stuff in different ancient works and stuff that is prior 1950s on back. And so those words, you see what I'm saying, they are more mantras than anything. What's that?
There's in Sanskrit, there's a word called anaga,
right,
and it means sinless. Somebody that has a pure consciousness that is absolutely without sin, and that is the conqueror of the world, and in whom we seek refuge.
So like I said, and then you got the nagars, the serpent people, the snake people, and different things like that. So it's not by mistake. It just becomes, and before it became a point of discussion from the black people recently, it was a point of discussion in the mid-90s with white people was getting mad and people calling people niggas. So then when you know that, they're bringing it to the forefront because there's some occult significance and stuff like that. So it's they want to, so but if you really study that, there's several words, and all the words represent some type of elevation and primal dimensions and substances and stuff like that. What's that, brother?
Yeah, I wanted to know how do you find out which entity, which God you come under, and since we're all here for a certain reason. Then how do we know if we're on the right track to following that thing that we're supposed to do?
What's your birthday? I mean, what's your sign?
I'm Aquarius.
Aquarius. What would that be under Aquarius? That's February.
February 2nd.
That's an air sign?
Yeah.
No. Some people say air, some people say water.
So that's Shu and Tefnut, the double lions. The double lions and stuff like that. So when you're dealing with a dual thing like that and all, it's a form of Horus, double-headed eagle, which is also an Aquarian thing that you have. And then you can keep on going. You can keep on going until you narrow it down. I have to see, but there's several ways you can do it. There's the book, the 777 and other Kabbalistic writings by Aleister Crowley. And in that book, in that particular book, you can tap in, you can find out what your deity is, either by counting the numbers in your name or your zodiac. Yeah, your zodiac and stuff. Yeah, so so whatever it is, it's going to come to you. I would suggest just more studying right now. What's that?
Two questions. What is the meaning behind Halloween, and what is the representation of
Tara?
Yeah.
Tara is the great mother. Tara is the only deity that's in Tibet. There's a Tara in Tibet. There's a Tara in Europe. There's a Tara she's Tara Meta in Rome. She's Tan Tara in Egypt. There's a Tara in India. And there's also, and the earth is also called Tara. Yeah, so she's a universal mother.
And what's the representation of Halloween?
Halloween is when the days when the spirit worlds bump together, and from the dead and the living. And I tell this story about my queen went to a party somewhere in the early 90s, and there was about 100 people at the party, a masquerade party. And she went outside for a few minutes, her and her friend went outside for a few minutes, and when they came back in, it wasn't no more than 10 or 15 people. Where did 100 people go? They didn't see nobody leave. It was only a few seconds. That means the other people was from the other world. So Halloween, Hallows Eve represents that, and there's a Day of the Dead represented in all cultures. You see what I'm saying? So Halloween is that, and as well as Mardi Gras in this culture. But you got Day of the Dead all over, even in Indonesia and stuff like that. Yeah, what's that, brother?
What's the significance of wolf?
A what? A wolf? Well, a wolf is, you got to realize, it's the most primal substance. You know, dogs, before they was domesticated, used to be wolves. And then they was domesticated down into what it is. So the wolf also represents the primal aspect. It's actually a Native American form of Anubis, the god of the underworld and the God that leads the souls. So it has a lot to do with that. What's that, brother?
Yeah. Is there an esoteric meaning to the Bible verse, remember the Sabbath day?
Yeah. Baron Samedi, the Sabbath is Saturday, Saturn. You see what I'm saying? Saturn is Capricorn. Saturn is the great chastiser. Your Saturn part, and it's, when you break it back down, it's talking about that dark substance. It's the most powerful substance, and something that's most powerful is the thing that gets you in shape, get you in order. There's a book called Saturn, the New Look at the Old Devil. The Saturn, the New Look at the Old Devil. So the Sabbath is dealing with that whole thing with the Saturday. And Saturn, Chronos. Before this earth basically fell down to this earth based on the slaying of Saturn, or Chronos. They cut Chronos' nuts off, and the Olympian deities fell down and went to war with the Titans. All that's mythology. But Chronos, that original timekeeper, that original thing, represents this Saturn, this great chastiser. There's a whole lot to it. So you have to just, like I said, get the book Saturn, the New Look at the Old Devil. And Saturn becomes Sabbath. Saturday is named after Saturn. What's that, sister?
I noticed that in India there's a lot of children born now with 2 faces, 8 limbs.
Well, the Lakshmi girl was a literal. Did you see the entire? If you saw the entire special, the mama said that she went to the temple, and Lakshmi came to her and said, "I'm going to reincarnate through your daughter, a form of her." And so when the daughter came, the daughter had the 8 legs and all that. That was literally. So when they was calling her the Lakshmi girl, at first when I saw it, I said, okay, here's some people. They saw this 8-leg baby or what have you, and they said that they just worship it as the deity because they do have that Lakshmi with that. But no, when they showed the actual National Geographic special, which I got on tape, I'm gonna put it on DVD tomorrow. When they showed the special, the woman said, I woke up, I had a dream, I went to the temple, and the temple, the Lakshmi came to her and said, I'm gonna manifest through you and stuff. Yeah.
What about the baby with the 2 faces?
With the 2 faces.
The one that says after, I think is Kali, the goddess Kali.
Okay, I mean all of that stuff, man, manifests. And when they finally tell her story, I guarantee you it's gonna be some spiritual stuff behind it. What's that, brother?
I was just saying. So why would the mother go ahead and go with the operation? I heard they can't even return to the village.
Here goes again. Lakshmi only came as a sign.
Okay.
They said that the baby wouldn't live past 7 if it kept that.
Yeah.
So the baby is not supposed to be running around here tortured looking like an 8-legged thing. You see what I'm saying? It was a symbol of her returning to the planet. So it was okay for that to do that now. So that's what that is. Now the people returning to the village, they just take things too personal, because indigenous people, you see what I'm saying, that, you know what I'm saying, that they deal too much with omens and superstitions and stuff like that. And that's what happens when a greater deal of the education becomes separated from the people from the village and stuff like that now. Yeah. What's that, brother?
What's the power behind
Clairvoyancy?
Yeah.
It's just one of the, look, we got at least 50 senses that we used to deal with in the ancient world that basically over time just dried up. So ain't nothing to it. It was just the ancient telephone or the ancient vision, but it's nothing spooky about it. It used to be how we did things as a race or as a form of communication across the planet. You see what I'm saying? Before those particular senses started shutting down. That's why you can see mythology all over the planet and it be different languages but it had the same meaning. That's the clairvoyancy in it and stuff like that. So that's just another form of technology that shut down in us. Yeah, what's that?
Now, what I want to say truthfully, it's not really a question, it's just everybody by here.
Yeah.
What is the reason for differences in life, period?
Huh?
What is the reason for differences in life, such as nature? We got rain, we got water, we got air, got these things.
Yeah, it's differences is just simply
It's the reason
technology.
for the differences for life and process to go through, of course.
Yeah.
Now, in nature, of course, human nature, it's blacks, it's Indians, it's all kind of Chinese.
Yeah, right, yeah.
It's just the same. It's a process going through, but we still, to this day, questioning why. When we didn't even ask to be here. Why we question the difference in nature. But we just keep asking.
You're supposed to.
You know, why are you supposed to?
That's the science. That's the science.
You didn't ask, yo man, why am I here? Why am I black? Why it couldn't be this? You gotta say thanks to everything.
Well,
Don't
now that
question
you just
nature.
sit on a damn stump and
It's not like
scratch your
questioning,
nuts.
yo, why is it raining today?
Drink water. That's what you're down here for.
No.
You
Nah, it's all right. It's all right.
What is the word science? The
It's not like
etymological
questioning
word of the word science is to know. To know.
Well, I
You
say,
understand what I'm saying?
you want, it's like it. Like I
So,
said,
I mean, look, man, it's simple, man.
you want to sit and
They
question,
say
yo, why
study-
is it snowing today?
They say study.
Why
to
the
know
sun is so
thyself
high?
approved. They say
And just
study.
say, hey man, glad for it because it's a purpose. It's a reason.
Wait a minute, if it's a purpose, see, that's contradiction.
Why he made us different?
If it's a purpose,
it's what's happening right now.
you're supposed to know what that goddamn purpose is. And how would you know what the purpose is if you don't study this
Well, I'm
shit?
telling you the purpose right now. You see,
No, man, look.
your understanding compared to mine, right? The purpose of it.
Look.
You're teaching
Okay,
me,
listen to
and
me,
I'm
man.
teaching you.
Now, you ain't teaching
So
me
we
shit.
both will be
You ain't teaching me shit. You teaching me you a goddamn spectacle.
Your pride is in the way.
No, ain't no pride. Let me explain this to you. Let me explain
It's
this
too
to
much
you.
pride, Pop.
No, ain't no pride. Let me
You gotta
explain
put
this
the
to you.
pride off,
No,
man.
let me explain this to you. Let me explain this to you. Let me show you what I'm talking about here.
Too much pride.
No, ain't no pride. Let me explain something here.
Sure.
On some stuff that's going on.
You can't make change of anything.
Listen to me. Now, I'm getting ready to show you right
Can't
now.
stop the rain from falling.
You wouldn't dare. You wouldn't dare. I'm gonna show you something right now on how you have entered into the realm of inferiority on one aspect that you showboating. You wouldn't dare go to a classroom at Columbia University and stand up with that bullshit. You wouldn't do it because you have a certain respect for what is called scholarship. You see what I'm saying? But it's only with us because you don't have this that you will even do that. You wouldn't dare go to the fucking UN.
But ask yourself again. Ask yourself again.
You know what, man? You know what I'm saying? We ain't, look here, I'm telling you what we're gonna do with you. We're not even gonna dignify your ass as being here. You need to get the fuck out. What you have to do with me?
Hey, I get my money, I got my rights.
No, you ain't got no fucking rights.
Respect me.
Oh, so you gonna make me?
I got my rights. This is
You know
not
what,
free.
man? You know what you
respect.
You know what the problem is?
Don't tell me get out, son.
Look, what I'm trying to
Pay
tell
my
you.
money.
Let me tell you
See,
what.
you ain't got no love.
But I'm gonna tell you about
You got my
love.
money though, right?
If you had love, you would not. Let me show you something. If you had love, you
got
would
my
not
money,
be
right?
You don't.
What you want me to go?
You know he don't give a damn about the people in here. Because why would you disrupt their learning?
That's right there. All you care about is my money.
You know that's why would you do that? You wouldn't go down to Columbia University and disrupt. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You would have a certain amount of respect. And you know what the problem is? He's mad because he don't know. He's at a certain age. He's at a certain age. We already know this science. He's at a certain age. And all of a sudden, at this certain age, he realized that all my life, I'm learning stuff that I didn't know, and that's frustrating.
It hurts his heart.
It hurts him to say, wow, you mean to tell me all this time, all this particular information, and I don't know it. And so what you do, you rebel against it because you feel you're inadequate with not knowing, and there's nothing wrong with not knowing. That's why you own the earth from day to day, is to learn, to know. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say here is, you got to put people like that in check, because I already know he wouldn't go to Columbia University to do this. You understand? He wouldn't go to NYU. He would have enough respect to understand if a people, now, okay, we come into contact of bringing this stuff with humor or whatever type stuff like this, but this is the type of setting it is. You understand what I'm saying? But the point I'm trying to make here is this. He's not doing that. This brother, he's been asking questions since he came, when he first started talking about idolatry. What this is a religious freak. You see what I'm saying? That has no respect outside of his worldview, and he realized now that he's been trapped in some dogma for years, and he realized there's a whole nother world out here. You understand what I'm saying? And what it is he couldn't take it any longer because he feels inadequate because he's ignorant. And so he will come with all this vague shit about not questioning, about knowing stuff, and it shows just how ignorant he is. You see what I'm saying? It shows just how ignorant he is. You see, and that's what that's about. You see? But the thing about it is, we shouldn't let him off the hook and dignify him as if that he's having legitimate questions. No, he's showboating. You see what I'm saying? And he's disrupting. You see.
Fuck that monkey.
Yeah, that's all that's about. Give me some questions.
What about the reason why we're here?
Right, yeah.
We have a need to.
You know, nobody denied him anything. But don't be coming vague with some stuff if you don't have a specific question.
Fuck him.
You know what I'm saying? That's what that's about.
One more question,
Suck
Bobby.
at MC.
Let me see it.
Bobby.
What was part of the Olympics?
Yeah.
The death of Bernie Mac. And I'm trying to figure out the connection why those two.
Which one?
Bernie Mac and Isaac Hayes.
Well, Bernie Mac died on the 9th, the day after. And that was a porthole. It opened on 888. It was a porthole. And then Isaac Hayes died. Basically, they said that his work was completed. We did get a lot on him. He'd done a lot of work, and his work was completed. It was time for him to go do another work. So that was a sign of the actual time or the vortex that did happen. You see what I'm saying? That did happen. You see, what's that,
Hey, brother, you see what that brother, what he just did? This is Long Island University, right?
Right.
He was intellectual on anything that happens to the university. The way he presented himself, they would tell him to leave the class.
Yeah.
See, that was something very negative.
Really, we are in right to get the fucking security guard. You see what I'm saying? And come in and knock his ass over the head. You see? That we're within rights, because you don't this is the same type of forum. We at a college university and we're having this particular forum. And you don't disrupt it and stuff by coming with nonsense. He was so upset about it, so he phrased his questions into a point where he couldn't even answer the shit, let alone me talking some stuff.
Fuck that sucking MC.
Yeah, so that's all that was. Like I said, you could have got the security guard just to be official. And we could have got this shit. He could have got this shoe up his ass to be non-traditional. See, so that's all that's about. Yeah. Well, you know what, man? Every now and then I have that on occasion. I have that on occasion. But what I do here is I don't treat it with the same respect as most people. I know when he disrupted. So what I do, I get right down there in the dirt with his ass. So the next time he'll know, no, you're not gonna come. You see what I'm saying? And not have no opposition when you acting just straight up stupid. Yeah. No, he was pissed because he walked into a forum. You see what I'm saying? And he realized he was inadequate because he done lived all these years and he don't know nothing. So to get something, this particular thing, he's mad to say, why don't I know? Well, that's why you here, but you got to humble yourself to the knowledge that's coming on. You can't learn nothing from me, and I know that you ain't doing it but run off at the damn mouth. You see what I'm saying? You see, you're actually giving me some enjoyment because I like that kind of shit. I like that kind of shit, getting off on a person's ass. You see what I'm saying? You see, you know, then you see why niggas get shot. You see, what's that?
Yeah, I agree. That's what in psychology they call cognitive dissonance.
Exactly.
Whereas someone rebels against something based off the psychological unease.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a part of debating called something irrelevance, where you go to the irrelevant stage just to get past the rough spots. I forgot the name of it. It's something irrelevance, but it's a part of the 7 liberal arts. You try, you know, it's a part of the debate and stuff. In this particular case, like you said, it was psychological shit that was going on.
But earlier in the lecture, you had mentioned the strokes.
Right.
How Western society was studying the strokes to understand that the Shakti energy was basically eliminating those of us who weren't vibrating at the level of energy that was going on. So how would someone decipher between thoughts, emotions, and things like that were blocking their energy as opposed to, because sometimes trauma is good. You know what I'm saying? So how would you decipher between what's taking you towards the Shakti state and what's not?
Apparently, one thing I can say is knowledge exempts you from that. Because the knowledge itself is initiation within itself, initiation through acquisition of knowledge. So that is one thing. So my point here is, if you are conscious now, you are exempt from that, because the simple fact here is the energy is to know, and you need a certain amount of energy to know. So the energy is being utilized for that. You see, What's that, brother?
Yes, I heard a lot about the ego when I was studying. Could you explain on how the ego
look, I had this same shit on the bus one day. I was riding on the bus, and I knew it. Bunch of ignorant ass niggas. I'm down south. That means it get worse. At least up here, you got a lot of people you conscious based on you're a third world country in living. You catch hell up here. Down south, it's a lot more easy. So you get an ignorant nigga down there. He's just ignorant because he was born that way. So I'm on a bus, and this brother was in his late 60s or early 70s, and I saw him coming. He got on the bus with a goddamn kufi on it. He looked at me and he came up to me, and I said, "Oh shit, here he go." And we start throwing down. He starts dropping and start doing some stuff, and I'm answering his question. And there's a guy sitting behind me that has seen knowledge for the first time outside of a bunch of ignorant shit that he's exposed to. And the first thing he said was, which was contradiction, everybody on the bus. And I really didn't want to converse with this guy. You see, because I knew what was going to happen. I could feel it. I said, let's get off the bus and walk down the street and we can throw down. And this was an elder that's been in this science through Elijah Muhammad, through all of the more. He'd been through all of it. Muslim brother, but he's into the sciences also. So, and he was an elder. I said, damn, here he come. And he started throwing down. And the brother behind me said, yo brother, you got some kind of book in your coat pocket, and it's been hitting me on my leg. You know, I guess you don't know about it. I said, well, I'm sorry, brother. No, you wasn't, motherfucker. Hold on, man. You just said I didn't know about it. I ain't no fool. Then he tried to turn it in that I'm sitting beside my woman. He's trying to turn it in that I was hitting the book up against his leg like I was into him or some kind of shit. He was making up shit to go because he was upset. I said, wait a minute, hold on. You just said that I didn't know it first. Now I didn't change it. I'm trying to hit on you. I said, well, look, man, I apologize. I'm sorry. No, you're not, bitch. I said, here you go. He heard knowledge for the first time, and it was in the wrong place. See, up here, you hear the niggas on the corner talking the jewels and the wisdom. But he, for some alternative dimension, this fucker ended up in, and he heard it and he said, I'm 40-something. Why don't I know that? So because I feel inadequate, I must level and attack that which has occurred. And I said, brother, I'm sorry. And everybody on the bus said, brother, you really handled that shit good. But I knew what was going on. And about a week later, I'm on the train. A brother gets on there and start talking to me. So here it come again. And he said, whoop. He said, we better stop right now. You don't want to open up too many premature minds. Because you're going to have trouble. We're going to have trouble. So let's continue this shit when we get off here. We're going to the same stop. But you don't want to open too many sleeping minds on this train because they're going to wake up mad. And I said, well, all right, you know what time it is. So that's all what occurred. That's all what occurred. But what I do is, I love it. Because the first thing you do is get on their ass. Like Malcolm say, beat them down. If I had a chain, I swear to God, I'd have went upside that goddamn nigga head. I'd have chain whipped his ass. I tell you. What's that, brother? Get a stroke, yeah.
You mentioned on the tape a couple years ago about some people in South Carolina that they not having stroke anymore because they put this mark.
Yeah, dried moss. No, they weren't having high blood pressure no more.
What's it called again?
If you ever see pictures of the South, you'll see this moss hanging off the tree. If you take that moss and put it in your shoe, you won't have no high blood pressure. They just go and get the stuff off the shoe, and the high blood pressure goes down. It was high blood pressure what it was. That dried moss. So the next time somebody go down south and you see that shit on the tree, collect a bunch of it. You see. I know it might be in Virginia. I know it's in North Carolina and South Carolina. And I know it's in Alabama, Mississippi, and it's also in Louisiana. You see. So whenever you seeing some stuff from down that way, and you see the moss hanging off the trees, wait till the end of the movie and look right at the bottom and see where it was filmed at. And that's another outlet so we can go get some of that stuff.
Did you see the movie Daughters of the Dust?
Yeah.
What about the Green Mile?
Yeah, I saw all that.
In the Green Mile, when they showed that picture, when they showed that movie in North Carolina years ago, and a lot of white people protested that movie. Because you remember his name was JC, John Coffey, stand for JC. Yeah. No. Dick Gregory tells the story that when he wrote JC, and the white people wasn't stupid, they knew he meant Jesus Christ. And when he wrote JC, they said, motherfucker, you don't do no shit and put a black man. And the next thing you know, a car ran over his ass. They tried to kill him. Said, we'll teach you a lesson. If you don't die, you don't never do no bullshit like that no more. When they had people like that in North Carolina, way back in the 30s and the 40s, they used to heal people something like that.
Yeah.
Also, they went into the suicide or something.
Yeah. That's interesting. What's that, sister?
Bobby, on YouTube, I don't know how valid it is, but I've been seeing a few videos about shape shifting.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Well, it can happen. It can happen. The Native Americans been doing it for years.
This is like Jenna Bush. I saw one.
Oh yeah. Now as far as them fools there, I just think that's some stuff that made up. David Icke made up. All that old Jenna Bush and all them, it ain't nothing, please. Nah, that's what you call it. No, the Native Americans had it and the Africans had it. The science. The Africans had the science of flying. We got that in the slave narratives. That would, you see, some of them who could fly went back to Africa in slavery. But we used to do all of that, but that stuff was relegated to certain families. After the society started deteriorating, certain sciences was relegated to certain families in Africa. And there was a family that still had the art of flying, which used to be something we all could do. You see, that's what the brother was talking about when it came to the clairvoyance. That was just a sign that we all could do. And you can still get back if you tap into it. Because right now, if you're dreaming of flying, you ever dream and be flying in your dreams? Yeah. You know, how many people fly in their dreams? That means you close to doing it now. That means you close to doing it now and stuff like that. You can actually, that's a science that we can actually do. Now there's actual magic, but I won't put that on the tape. But fuck it. There's a magic shit. Because I don't want you to go and do this shit. I don't think you had to do it. You could actually kill a baby and get the oil from the skin of a baby and rub it on you and fly. That's in one of the magic shits. Our magic stuff. Oil from the skin of a baby and you can fly. So I don't want y'all niggas to fuck around and y'all be missing little Jimmy and shit because somebody they done snatched him up. You see, but I
Did you see that movie Manitou with Tony Curtis?
Yeah, Manitou, awesome movie. Dynamite movie, Manitou.
I have it. You can get it J&R downstairs.
Manitou, awesome movie, 1978. Bad.
Please explain where Baron Samedi is ultimately becoming. What is Baron Samedi ultimately becoming in a short version?
Can you tell me?
I know, but no, I want you to tell. I want you to say it.
Right now, I'm so discombobulated. You say it, and then I can elaborate.
Okay, what I'm hearing is Afrocentric movement.
Afrocentric movement.
That's what he's saying. Afrocentric movement.
Oh, what he's trying to say here is basically this is the realm that this is the stuff that they need to be dealing with.
Right. Okay. Okay.
That Baron Sun, the eye magic, and all this type of stuff here. But the Afrocentric movement means we taking it out of the practitioner. So what happened with us, a lot of times we want to get into voodoo, next thing we go and we try to initiate, you got to go sleep on a damn rock for 3 days.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Sipping on some water for 3 days, and that's not what this is about no more. This now is about you the gods now, so you joining with this energy, you sitting on aligning with it, and you ain't got to initiate up under nothing because you equal. You see? That's the deal. So don't run off and go, I need to deal with Baron Sun, so I need to go down here to these voodoo people, you see what I'm saying, and all that next round and don't have no sex for a year. Now you got big balls. You see? Now, you is saying that this stuff is a part of you, it's in you. This is different than the regular practicing thing. That was a part that we had to do to preserve this up to now. Now you don't have to go initiate into nothing. Because all that is just begging. I'm initiating to beg. To beg. You are the end result of the initiations now. So you got to become Baron Sunday. That's why I got on the hat. You see, not going to initiate and start worshiping Baron Sunday. You see what I'm saying? He said, I've come back as you. So when you read about his attributes, you're only reading about yourself. You see, what's that, brother? You?
I saw one of your videos, I think it was the Lakshmi video, and you talked about the ancestors coming through a lot of the parents, specifically mothers. And you were saying your mother in her later years, you felt that Shashat energy coming through your mother. I just wanted to know if you could drop something on that real quick, because I noticed my mother going through that. I noticed my mother going through that now. As she gets older, she looks different. You know, it's like one day I go over there, she talking about growing herbs that don't need soil. You know what I'm saying? The next time I go over there, she talking about something else pertaining to health, or and she doesn't really be reading.
Nah, she's just developing spiritually.
Right.
She's just developing spiritually. My mother actually was always that way, but she's just developing spiritually and stuff like that. Yeah. So she's just on her path and stuff. She just on her path. This brother had his hand up over here first. Yeah. What's that?
You know the science behind when you fall asleep and then you feel like something's on you but you can't see it. It's like a vibration. It's like there's been a lot of talk about it, but nobody knows what it is.
Okay, two aspects of that. One, when you fall asleep, if you're conscious, you have people that come and they heal you and they work on you, spirits. The other attribute is when you fall asleep, you astral travel out here, and then when you wake up, you're not really in your body again, so as a result, it looks like you're incapacitated. That's because the soul hadn't returned to the body, and you've been astral traveling. So it's stuff like that, but it's a combination of stuff, but you also have entities that come in and heal and work on you. What's that?
Whatever he was talking about, Vescalanza was talking about. Whatever this guy was talking about.
About what?
Whatever he was talking about.
Oh, about the mother becoming, yes. Exactly. Just exactly, brother, what you was talking about your mother becoming this master. It's interesting because that brother that just died, Basis's father, come to find out he was a great old one. But, you know, a great old one. He was a great being and stuff like that left. So it's just bearing witness to that particular stuff. What's that? He has something in you. What's that? What's that? Yeah. Okay, what's that?
Oh yeah, I want to know. Alright, cause
last question about.
Okay.
You other teachers, Blair and everybody, they say we're right in the stage in the fourth dimension, going to the fifth.
Yeah.
In which you're also saying we're becoming those gods.
Yeah.
How the hell do we turn it on?
You turn it on now by knowledge. See, you got to get out of the Hollywood version of it. It ain't gonna happen that way. It's not gonna happen that way. It's no different than you in school, you about 17, and they're telling you you're going into adulthood. And you learning everything what it is to be an adult and take on the responsibility. Well, it's the same thing like that. You turn it in, you come to it by trying to understand it and unlock it on that level. There's no mechanism and stuff like that. The mechanism is to try to contemplate and ponder this thing as far as it, the more you know about it. That is the initiation. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. So we got the boogie.
Give it up, y'all.
Yeah.